While you get it everywhere, much better, 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 better. More food, nothing of your cola. Think I call Mugatti got better. So I got your money. Nyanyisu. Liwoma, liwoma. Erinyere yesunga liwoma. Liwoma, liwoma. Erinyere yesunga liwoma. Erinyere yesunga liwoma. Liwoma, liwoma. Erinyere yesunga liwoma. Mama nampita. Naonge. Watali kubo. Tigwa but lisingako eswaga lya mane eninya Yesu liwoma 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 erinnya lya Yesu nga liwoma 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 erinnya lya Yesu nga liwoma nchigwenjuki liwoma 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 erinnya lya Yesu nga liwoma 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 erinnya lya Yesu nga 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 liwoma. A good morning, a good afternoon. Akalulu ka Yesu. Digida, 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 digida. Akalulu kabaka Yesu yeka. To all ringleaders, hello. When for you you're a ringleader, nyamuka, ano nyo fumbo, ano nyam na nyavukuna. When you are a ringleader, and whatever you set about them, nga wogaman we boycott this one day or boycott. Nga you a ringleader, nga jadda jemudda. Lero kirase banyumire to all ringleaders. A ringleader in school, a ringleader in church, a ringleader in business, a ringleader in politics, a ringleader in the corporate world. Nga ringleader wamwe bwabagamba temugende eno nga mwenna mugamba yes. Nga ringleader wamwe bwabagamba don't watch this one nga mugamba yes. Nga ringleader wamwe gwalaba gwe mulaba. Nga ringleader wamwe yakulira ekyoto. Nkyagamba kye mugoberera. Mubanda biraba ringleaders. Nga wagamba boycott this one, you all boycott. We have ringleaders, those ends. Goto abamanyi. Nze natimba amanyi. Bona bali batano bange. Mubanda biraba ringleaders bamu. Nga gwafuka mulebesi wa ringleader. Nga omusitulira akasawo. Nga gwa akutegerera nategerera na mukazi wo n'abaana bo nategerera ne bbaawo. Ngolina leader wo w'ekyoto nga bw'abaana yambala white mwena mwambala white. Ayisa mwine fujju. Ringleader wammwe gy'agenda function gya attendinga nammwe gye mugenda. Nga bw'aba girina kuba 5,000 as a must. Mwena mwina okubeera ne 5,000. Bw'agamba nti ono weekend tugende eno nga mwena mugenda. Nga mutula mu mmotoka zammwe nga mugenda. Mumundabira. Mumuŋŋambire tulina kiraasi. Mumuŋŋambire ringleader wammwe tulina kiraasi y'abakulembeze bokka. Mwe babategeerera mugira mubeere bagira babategeerera. Njagala ringleader wammwe yeepankapanka. Nga bw'ayambala white mwena mwambala white. Bw'agamba nti tugende wono nga mwena gye mugenda. Bw'abagamba nti eri temugenda nga mwena temugenda. You know, those things used to be there in school when we were still young, but they're still existing up to now. They are in church, they are among pastors. To ringleaders. Nga gwali mukulembeze w'abasumba. Nga bamugamba nti ono mumugobe nga mwenna mumugoba. Nga muwandiika amabaluwa gammwe eyo nga mwafuka bakitalo mu ggwanga mwe. Ayisoya. Naye kambuuze. Buli omu yalokoka bibye, right? Kubanga buli omu gy'ava. Bazadde bammwe muva mu maka ag'enjawulo, muva mu bamaama ne batata ab'enjawulo. Ne mula ne mwekuŋŋaanya nga mukuze. Mwenna mulowooza kye. I just love Uganda. Aye. Nga ne bwe kiwanga omukulu embeze yakoze ekikyamu temuyinza mugambako kubanga ye ringleader wammwe. Bameka ng'oli eyo nga leader wammwe yasobya. Ng'okimanyi bulungi nnyo yasobya naye ne mu defending ebikyamu. Later nammwe n'abeefuulira n'abagoba. Tuli eno tulwana eggwanga lifa. Bwalukera Nnakimera abulaba leaders munsanyusa. If you ever want to destroy a camp, look for ringleaders. Don't allow them to hide. Don't look for pawns. You know when you play chess, right? It has kings and queens. Please look for the king and the queen. Don't look for pawns. Pawns are useless. Those are time wasters. Wakati w'ennyanja awo masekati g'embuyaga. Oh, if you want to destroy an ant hill, don't look for the small ants. Look for queen bee. That means you have to dig the entire ant hill. Look for the queen bee, then pour there. They destroy. You know, back in school, I used to fear fighting a lot. Because I used to see kids fight and someone died because of those funny smaller wars. So, nze sagala nnyo buno nja kukuba. Njagala oli ringleader. Bw'obanga olumba, tolumba buno obuzimu obutinitini. Lumba abutuma. In other words, go to the root cause. It's what I'm saying. Go to the root. Muyina bingi bye mutamanyi mutunula butunuzi mulaba abantu kola bintu nogamba what's going on. They have ringleaders. They believe in particular people who lead their camps to destroy things here and there. Atuleyo n'abakunga. Tebiri mu politics moka bitudde mu church bizunga. Bitudde mu byoto ebyo kwe mubeera bambi ne mubeere mwe ne mulowooza mwagenza okusaba innocent. Kumba abayaaye balina entalo. That's why I told you I fear going to churches, certain churches. I love going to places that I know my originals. Omulabe gw'omanyi mwangu okuba. Naye gw'otamanyi jijja kuba mbirigo. Ebintu by'okunnyingiza mu kaluti sibisobola nnyo. People come from wherever, people come from abroad and they start things and you start following. Before you know it, you're following the diablo because you don't carry the Holy Spirit. That's the problem we have. You still have people in church who say yosagala kutula na yesagala kumulira nga ayogera nakowa. Na yali mu church ate mukulembeze. Many people are struggling with forgiveness in church. Never tata aba abanene, never mama abanene. Nagamba n'abaana sibalabayo. Mukwano, aba abaana bo bagambe nze tonteekanga mu kirabu. Kasita mbasanga nga mulwana nga nkomyo nga mulwana. See, I don't choose sides. Nze nagenda temulwana. So ebyo entalo zammwe tozinnyingizangamu. Because mwembinja baabya. Kabibe mu family. Nze nakoowa. Ndi mukoowa muku. I don't waste time in those things. Because we tuba twalokoka lwaki toyogera ne Pastor Kayanja, lwaki toyogera ne Pastor Serwata, lwaki toyogera ne Apostle Kimuli, lwaki toyogera lwaki. What is that? Fe endiga mtuleseewa. Mwafuka abapolitician. Apolitician obongo namwabamu bunafu. Nzobo wagira simanya Kayanja manya gundi President Museveni obo wagira Bobi Wine nze tebinkwata at the end of the day I need Uganda. It's what is important. We are all in Uganda. So how are we going to work together, work hard and raise the flag higher? Because the flag, you're not going to tear it and one person takes a piece. If your pastor does not like the current president, that is his problem. If he does not like the younger youth, that is his problem. That's none of my business. Because when you become the president, this flag stays whole. Whether we love you or not, this flag stays whole. No one goes with a flag. Siyamwe. Nzoba gundi asabira wa gundi mwe mumanyi. At the end of the day, we are family members. Kwanga family members tutula n'abasiramu ne tutula n'abave ekiwa mirembe ne tutula n'abasamize ne tutula n'abakatuliki n'abaprotestanti n'abalokole ba Yesu peke ba Yesu dudu bana babeerayo mu family gathering. Kati we tutula mu family kubeerako umbrella ne tulaba ba matriarchs ne patriarchs abasigaddewo kye bayinza otukolera otugatanga family. That's what is important to me. And when it's family affairs, we close the door. If you're not family, please go away. Gende wamwe. Gende wamwe mukwano. Kubanga ne bwemba nganyo genda. Bwe banatula ku kyoto kya family era bagenda kwogera erinnya lyange. One time we were taken for family gathering. Back in the day, batuyita ensenene yakungana nebuuka. Bannange. Omukulu ne yesitula na janneeka n'atugamba olunaku neweluti muyina okujja mu family gathering. Kofe kale. Genda basatu. Netutukayo n'abantu ne beeyanjula. Bonna beeyanjula because they did it house per house. Nga tuli wansi wa umbrella emu, but they are small houses inside. Kati n'amakanisa bwe gali. Tina umbrella Jesus, and we are all going to heaven, right? Our big umbrella is target heaven. But inside the target heaven, people split the small things. We have small houses with small fathers. Which small fathers have to work together as fathers so that they represent their big father. And for us, you will always be children. When their fathers leave and their mothers, we become the fathers and their mothers. That is how it works. And we go higher. But you enter the small houses. They also have small houses, small houses. And you're like, now we listen to who? Can't we have one voice and sing the same voice? The world is doing that. That's why they are bringing the one world order. And how you believe in the one world order and you don't believe in your systems of family and church to win. Joshua Nda lero lwa mukaaga bangoma nganda kyennabye wa mulirwana badde tulinda katonkwano katonda aleta ateke wali oba atekena beera muganda osirike ayayaya teka omukisa yoba tekeno ayayaya. To all ring leaders, kwera mwere watunateka omukisa. I thank God I don't belong to any small political group, small groups. Mwere jenjagala jengenda. Mwere watunateka omukisa. Buli jenyingira nzijayo by fire by force. Mwere watunateka omukisa. Ewali abolugezigezi abakulembeza abolugezigezi ngenda nsooba. Mamanyi okuba. Mwere watunateka omukisa. You enter ne batunuledi we batibonanga batakulabangako abo ntula mabega. Sisonga mbere. Ntya kibooko. Otuukayo no nabuuza, she's talking as who? Je ngenda abakulembeze nabanga, tusanyusa kulaba mwana tuwi. Eyo ngenda nsonze. Because manya nina backup y'omukulembeze. Waba yaleeta omumwa. I'll be protected. Nene nyingira abakulembeze ne basirika ne batunula eri. Ntula mabega. Mama wetale nyabo. Olira otya muli. Buli omu akoma weeka nga bakutwalidde ebimuli. Gano gago. Nga bakutumye ku airport ne bakutwalira ebimuli. Kyebalize Mukama. Eriyo abatalina babakima. You take things for granted. Nga bakutaddeko ku kamera ya TV. Nga buli lw'oyingire ku airport Entebbe. Nga Entebbe airport ebeere giti. Mwebale kuteekayo zike twalirengedde. Nanga saaliraba oluli. Nzembera wano nno gaziza kunyumyamu namwe anti leero lwa mukaaga. Leero lunaku lw'aba ring leaders. Nga gw'oli ring leader ng'omanya okutuula eyo n'ogamba ng'otowa order. Ng'oli ring leader nga ba teammates bo b'okola nabo. Oba signing service documents. They pledge allegiance to you. Instead of pledging allegiance to Christ. ngo bagamba togenda kukiri ekyoto wenkusangirayo. Awula bannange muli bubi. Ate nga batugamba wetulokoka we have liberty. Empozi endigazo gwozitegeerera goyina Holy Spirit. Tebasobola kweronderawo. Okay, no worries. Please honor your leaders. Tetojja kunsobola bangamba ndi mumenyi w'amateeka. It's because when nalokoka netegeerera goyagala kati kirabyeko nze seeyo sizza nze ndi mwana wo goyagala ekyo nkirabyeko nze seewakana. Because I can read the Bible on my own. Demulwatu onjagadde mulwatu ebyo mbuwayomba ne pastor gundi. It's none of my business. Sort your pastoral issues. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a child to a pastor. Nze when nali mu Sunday school, we went to all churches. Why were we introduced to all churches? Because awo okwagala kwa Kristo kwali kukyali ku level. Naye kati Yesu bamugabana. Kati mwabakalokoka mugira mubonaabona n'abakulembeze bammwe. Nze nzirayo eri ku musingi. Gye wangamba ni mwana wo gwoyagala kati nze nzirayo eri ku musingi. Nga Kabowa breathes the same as Miracle Center. Victory breathes the same as Kabowa. Nga bwe tugenda okuweereza, we enter any church and they welcome us in with love. Nga makanisa gammwe tegannaba kufuuka meremenya. Nze Yesu ow'ekiwempe oyo gwe njagala. Nga tebalina nga bakyali baavu nga bakyetowaza. Nga tebalina mamotoka. Naye n'oyingira n'owulira omwoyo wa Mukama nga presence ndala nnyo. Naye kati otula mu makanisa aga nga kyolabayo is batimbye. Naye ng'okuwulira omwoyo omutukuvu kyekyo lwaki n'okunyigira abantu n'okugoba abantu n'okuboycottinga abantu kyangu kubanga okwagala kwa Kristo okwasooka kwafuluma. Kwayita mu ddirisa. I thought the more you get, n'okwagala kwa Kristo gye kweyongera. Kati musabayo essaawa 2 ne mwebaka. Tokyafiira nnyo gamba ate biki osaba biki? Osaba biki? Tetukyasaba nga biri ebyokufiirawo. Okwetowaza kwabula. Munagenze kuli okwagala kwenzijukira nga abaana b'abasumba bakyali bato nnyo. Abaana b'abasumba bangi bensinga obukulu nga bakyali bato nnyo. Nga tebamanyi kuddamu bantu. Naye kati abaana b'abasumba ajja kuwalula. Oba ekkanisa ya jjajjaawo. Agambe ne kanisa ya kitange. Baring leaders, hello. Ebyo byembeeramu eno ye area yange. Buli omu ali abeere mu area ye. Ntisiggo wantuma. Weeto mbeere n'omugandi musanyufu ssaawa 2. Mwabakalokoka mugira mubonaabona nga mwagala babawo obutiibwatiibwa n'obukulembeze bwe mutakoleredde. Golowooza bw'oyimirira nga yegwe vision bearer kikufuula omukulembeze. Wali otuddawo n'ogamba ninayo ka idea akankuŋŋaanya abasajja n'abakyala nga yesita nakutuba kati nokutama byakutama tekikyali kyoto yafuuka business venture. Twali tumanyi tugenze kusaba maama yafuuka business venture kwambala biteteeyi byeru nangatto za white saati za white. Nobabuuza batugenda mu ggulu ngawa gakulabira naye gambagala nnyo. Whatever you turn your church into, it's your business. It's none of my business. After all, God called you and gave you the idea. It was yours. It is yours, not ours. You just want us to help you carry it. It is not ours, it is yours. Don't ever forget that. Era bwe tuba tufulumanga tetugenda na idea yo. Ate idea y'ekyoto si yiyo. Eri mu Bible. Those who don't know what an altar means, read the Bible, you'll know what an altar means. Alero, kati tunuulire essaala ya Yabezi. To the Jabez community, hello, nga yegwe Jabez, ng'omwana amutuuma erinnya Jabez. Essaala ya Jabez wali ogiwuliddeko. Essaala ya Jabez. To the community of DJs. You belong to a community of DJs. You belong to a community of producers of any kind. Besides producing and DJing, what else do you add in common? What is the common goal of having those associations? If I ever belong to any community kind of thing, I've seen gospel artists also belong to a particular fraternity. Sometimes they want to add the secular music into their thing and call them musicians. Sweetheart, the others are secular artists. We cannot have gospel artists. Okay, you have gospel artists, yes. Can we have worshippers? On the 11th, yes. We're going to Nnakimera with Pastor Isaac Serukenya. And on Sunday, no, on the, yes. Then on Sunday still, on the 11th, we are going to Nnakimera Cathedral to celebrate, okay, thank you, young man. We are going to Nnakimera Cathedral to celebrate 30 years. There is a choir in Nnakimera Cathedral celebrating 30 years. Be a part of something that adds value onto your life and it's taking you to a higher level than just wasting time in Lugambo and knowing who died where, who died when, which rich one, which poor one, which one. Be part of something that adds value. Don't miss out on adding value to other people. You get the point. Good. But then if you belong to a particular association of comedians, association of DJs, association of producers, music, I think you split it into music producers and the film producers, associations of the secular music, You know, they added the fraternity of the secular music and the gospel artists. There is a way they mix and mingle them, and the worshippers disappear. When you belong to those fraternities, what more do you add to one another? Why are you there? You're there because you sing. That is why you go to the music artists. What do you bring on the table? It's what I'm trying to ask. Your ringleaders. Today I said the ringleaders. We have I love the ringleaders. Your ringleader, what does your ringleader advise you to do? When your ringleader hates the ringleader of the other circle, do you also hate the other circle because your ringleader hates the other circle? Is that how leadership works? Why do you hate each other so much? I have seen now with the gospel, with the Ugandan artists, the music entertainment, they have small associations in there, and they keep fighting the leaders. They fight the other side. Mukano, you're not going to be our leader, and you bring your hatred, your personal fights into the association. We have a common goal. We did not come to fight your wars. Pastors also have associations, right? We have Nafubaka, Buffet, Neke, then there is Miracle Center Fraternity. You guys have fraternities. Are they taking us to Christ? Is our common goal heaven? Because I want to belong to something I understand. I don't want to be part of your fights. They are not healthy. Because when I was in Sunday school back in them days, those things were not there. And I was able to go to any church to serve the Lord. And we were very happy, and Christ walked more than he walks nowadays. Ennaku zino motoka zammwe ze zitambula ne mutugamba Yesu yatambudde. Do your fights add value to us? Whereby people of this fraternity, the pastors, the ringleaders even bring documents and you sign, and they tell you sign here. If I find you serving the Lord in the other church, sweetheart, when they are burying us, the other church members also come to bury us. When we die, they don't say that it is only this fraternity going to bury us. So ringleaders, please be careful with our lives. Our lives matter. Me, I'm not going to be part of your fights because you don't talk to so and so, so I should not. Please leave me out of your fights. Because me, when I left my country, I left Jesus there. So when I come back and Jesus is split, that is your problem. Yes, I am warning all ringleaders. Good. I am not part of anyone's ring. I am only part of the ring called Jesus. And now the politicians, let us put the church aside because there are 7 spheres. Now the politicians, I want all the ringleaders. Gwengoli ringleader nga bwe tufa tebikukwatako. Nze ngenda kujja mu kakampuko, but ebyo ebyokututta nga tulaba tetubiriimu mwana. Nga gwe ababo olyeyo bakwese. Ringleaders leero kirasi yaba ringleaders. Nga gwe okulira ebintu ntweyo, omanyi njagala nnyo okukuŋŋaanya abantu binsanyusa nnyo. Naye njagala tukuŋŋaanye for the right cause. Nga oli ringleader ng'osobola tugulira emmere. Enze wensalirawo okubeera mu kifraternity, nina okubeera nga bwemba siina mmere, ringleader asobola okumpa emmere, asobola okunsuza. Bw'oba tobisobola tompita mu nkambi yondeka, endi musanyufu eno mwana, nsobola okwegulira emmere. Yes, you're belonging to a particular fraternity etukolera ki? Mwateekawo enkola whereby when we can't go to school, you can help us go to school. When we don't have food, you can help us get food. When we can't afford rent, can you help us? Because that's the lead I understand. When someone has died in the group, are we ready and willing to support that family? Waliwo, is there any way jemutaddewo that can support the family? Oba omulimu gwammwe kujja kutuwa nga batugamba Solome was belonging to this political party, nga the politician comes out n'avuma gwavumye n'ayogera byayogedde, tuba tukyali awo nga nowa church avaayo, naye ogenda okubabuuza mu bulamu bwa Esther kiki mugasseeko? Muwoza kimwabadde mulungi nnyo bambi nga bw'omukuŋŋaanya, kiki kye mugasse ku bulamu bwa Esther? Era kiki kye mugenda okukolera famire ya Esther nga Esther agenze? Ekituli Esther mwabadde ayimirira mwenga fraternities Esther zabadde belonging to, kiki kye mutaddewo? Nkola ki gye mutaddewo okuggyako okunyumisa ekiboozi ku muzindaalo eri abo abawuliriza? Now I'm in the diaspora. They tell us to join the fraternities in the diaspora. Nga diaspora kiki kye mutuyambye? But what tuyina rent musobola okutuwa ku rent. Mutusalidde magezi ki nga ffe abakajja mu mawanga mu abaluddemu nga muyina amayumba amanene musobola okutusuza? Kati njogera ne ba presidents ndi kuba leaders nga goli eyo nga weyita leader mu fraternity. In the Ugandan community, the president to the fraternity, the diaspora group, kiki kyasobola okutukolera okujjako okubeera president? Nabeera ne ka title nti president. Recently I happened to meet people from Canada and other things. Nendaba presidency baabwe. Nali ngenda babuuza bwe nzije Canada kiki kye bayinza okunyongerako? Okujjako okuŋŋamba work hard. Oba ebyo mwabisomawa? Ye. Mutugamba tuve Uganda tuyingire diaspora. Kiki kye mugenda okutukolera? Mutugamba tuyingire mu ntalo zammwe mulwanyisa Museveni mumujjako, bwe mumujjako mutuwaani era tumujjako tutya? Yes, njagala nnyo ebyo ebibuuzo okubimanya so that I am part of the cause. Nga gwe ayagala okuyimirirawo mu kifo kya Museveni, ogenda kutukolera ki? Oba kiki kyozze nga otukolera ekyo kigenda tusikiriza okuwa entebe eyo nga bw'ogyagala? Yes, njagala tubeere kati bantu bakulu, ebyo ebintu by'okuwemula abantu n'okubavuma nga tolina ky'oleeta ku mmeeza tugenda kyakolagana nabyo bulungi. Yes, just nga mpadde nga njogerako bwogezi nga bulijjo, naye nga leero tugenda kusoma essaala ya Yabezi. Ogimanyi? Yabezi ye gw'omanyi? Yabezi omumanyi oba owulira amuwulire? Omanyi ani azaala Yabezi? To ring leaders, hello? Ring leaders bambi mujjeko wano maaso, nkusanyusa okulaba mukulu Rita Keflawo. Oyo bamuyita kimuli kyaffe. Kati nga goli eyo ng'oli maama, nga mu famire mw'otuula, toyagala kwogera na maama oli azaala abaana ba muganda wa bbaawo. Otuyambye otya nga maama mu famire? Kubanga bw'ofumbirwa mu famire mwe tuva n'ofuka maama, ffenna tuba abaana abo. Kiki ky'otugasseeko? Mututala mu family gatherings zinyumira nnyo sinza butagenda because bwenfa gye bantwala ekkanisa eyina ettaka okunzika terina. Era wano ne mala nkola so long, bye bye, it's time to say goodbye. Bekikwatako nga bansondera omusimbi nga banzaayeeka. Kati kyenja okukola bo obutabonaabona na kalambo kange bwe nnaawulira nga nnaatera okufa nga neeteeka ku nnyonyi. Kubanga nnyonyi bwesituka bweti mu bbanga tesobola kuddawo. Era balina okuntuusa to my destination. Omulambo ne babuuza ka passport k'omulambo kaliwa. Aba tekyali Esther. Baguyita mulawot. Omulambo. Ne baŋŋamba mutwala Kampala. Ku airport ku airport. Omulambo gwange ne bagufulumya. Ne banoonya gwe kikwatako bajja kulanga ku muzindalo bagambe mwabitegedde nagwo gulina okuyita mu immigration. That is the funny part of the story. Kati anti tulina okugenda mu ggulu tufuuke ba citizen. Naye mu ggulu ogendayo tolina osooka ofuuka omulambo kubanga tosobola kutambulira mu butuukirivu ng'Eriya ne Enoka. Gwe kakusomera omusajja Enoka nga tetunnasoma Yabezi. ekikutwala mu ggulu kiki ekigenda okutwala mu ggulu olina okusooka okufa mukwano ne Yesu yafa naazu ate natugamba tugenda kuzuukira wamu n'ebiboozi byaffe entalo zaffe za associations mu politics mu family mu music mu education mu finance mu entertainment mu media tugenda kuzuukira wamu nazo kati simanyi kyoliko eyo. It's a personal relationship at the end of the day. Bwebyo bwe bibeera. Good. Mukwano, omulambo gwange zine sawa ne mmala nkutukira wano mbasi kyali Esther Solome mbasi kyali na mukwano gwo wemberera mukwano gwo nga tebannanteeka mu kinnya ng'oyagala okuwa lusipiiki ngo bagamba nga bw'omanyi n'emirundi emeka gyonkubira essimu okumbuuzaako gwammanyi ayagala okuwa sipiiki nga nfudde omanyi n'ebinkwatako omanyi ne gyenva oyagala okuwa gyenvudde wange nakuwadde olukusa kati bannange tugenda kubawa ebyafaayo by'omugenzi byafaayo ki by'olina ate good muganda is a dead one omufu tebamwogerako kibi tojja kukwogerako naye ggala kyekyo kankulaga omusajja yagenda mu ggulu nga teyeebeereddemu nga mwabeebeereramu namutayingira ne mu ggulu ate nga mwebeerereddemu. Genesis chapter 5. I'll read very fast, then we go and read Jabez. Isala ya pace. Ndikuba ring leaders. Good. Eno waberayo ba readers boka ba leaders. Era mkwane yegame tuwa tujisobola kagobako. Tugenda kugitereza paka lwena atutuuka. Aba mwambadde obukanzu obumpi. Omukulembeze tayambala kanzu nyimpi. Tayambala kanzu ya muleera. Ekanzu gyayambala ebeere mutuuka nga mpanvu bulungi. Ekanzu erina kuba ya white, terina kubeeramu butolobojjo. Kubanga Yesu akomawo kukima ekkanisa okutali bbala wadde olufunyiro. Abakulembeze amiina nnyo. Hello. Genesis chapter 5. This is the book, the written record, the history of the generations of the descendants of Adam. Adam was a ringleader. When God created man, he made him in the likeness of God, not physical, but a spiritual personality and moral likeness. A spiritual personality and moral likeness. Good. He created them male and female and blessed them and named them mankind at the time they were created. When Adam had lived 130 years, he became the father of a son in his own likeness, according to his image, and named him Seth. Now, Adam, katibana batasoma Bible benyamba, aba batasoma Bible abatuza mu kanisa buli lunaku, katubazeko emabega mu Genesis chapter 4. Now the man Adam knew Eve as his wife, and she conceived. Kati eno Bible ekibikako n'ekyambaza ekigambo sexy. Okitegedde? Because they made love. There is a difference between having sex and making love. Sex wava malaya. Buli lwebaka n'omusajja nga takuwasanga olima what? Oli malaya according to these classes. Bulijjo tokimanyi. Buli lwe omusajja lwakwebakako nemukola sex olima what? Oli malaya. Kubanga bwe mumala nakuwaayo olwataano nakugulirayo emmotoka oyo sexy w'emmotoka n'ez'ebizigo n'ez'enviiri ne transport yakuzaayo aba akuguze baby. Twafadda gamba twafadda. Kubanga abamu awo we mutandikira ng'ofuuka maama ng'ofuuka tata ng'olyoka ogamba ng'omugamba lwaki naawe tewakozeseza protection abeera wabameka mubeera babiri nga mukozesa protection. So omusajja buli lwakwebakako gaaloozi nga tali bbaawo teyakuwasa obeera malaaya. Ab'oku nguudo si be bamalaaya mukwano. There are categories of Malayas. Kansubira wagendako a Himalaya. Kansubira, you know Himalaya salt. Kubanga omunyo kasita gugwamu ensa. Ebyo byosanga. Okitegedde kintu ng'ekyo. Kati tuddeyo ku Eva. Now the man named A, tumaze kusomayo, he knew Eva, they made love because they were approved. Because it was legal. Ogenda kumbuuza, embaga ya Eva ne Adamu eriruddawa. Nga tonnambuuza embaga ya Eva ne ya Adamu ey'amamoni tatawo yaliruddawa. Oli myaka egyetegeerera nga bwe mutera okutugamba nti ntegeera nnyo. Oli myaka egyetegeerera ekikwebasaako Apollo n'akwebakako, Kirikiri n'akwebakako, n'otuuka ne bano ba political failures ne bakwebakako kiki ennyo. Oyo muvubuka gw'opepeya naye abeereyo ng'akulimbalimba lwaki takuwasa? Ewammwe lwaki atyayo? Ekisinga okunsanyusa akugamba tali ready naye okwebakako abeera ready. Obwamalayo n'obutuusaawo. Kubanga bwe mukyankalana ne Apollo ng'ate olumba Abudu. Ne Abudu naye n'akola ekintu kyekimu. Mmwe lwaki mweyazika ebinu gwe Apollo ne Abudu? Mwoza ekikyasinza okunsanyusa. Abasiraamu babeereyo ne bagamba batukula nnyo. Naye Apollo gye yalidde akasowaani ke yaliriddemu naawe koolyamu. Bwe bituuka ku ebyo tewabeerayo kirinirinensi. Teriyo geno kirinirinensi eyo. Eyo teri geno kirinirinensi Apollo. Nyabo sebo Abudu. Eyo teri geno kirinirinensi. Ne muyombera omuzikiti ani yatudde maaso ani yatudde emabega. Naye okwebaka ku mukazi Apollo gwe yeebaseeko mukafiiri. Ekyo kyo temukiyombera. Nga naawe gy'ogenda sebo. Naye aliyeti ngamba gwe Esther. Apollo n'akwebakako, Abudu n'akwebakako, Swaibu n'akwebakako. Ne jjajja mukwakwaya naye n'akwebakako. Kiki ennyo? Byansi byakuleka. Okay, kati subire byansi byakuleka nga temuli baana. Kati gwe kola ogw'okuzaala nga weesugulira nti no Solome gyali. Anti yalina ekisa ekyebaakiriza atunula. Okitegedde? Good. Adam knew Eva as his wife, and she conceived and gave birth to Cain, and she said, I have obtained a man, a baby boy, with the help of the Lord. And later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept the flocks of sheep and goats, but Cain cultivated the ground. Nga nawe woli eyo. Mama ozadde abaana aba, a boy and a boy, or a boy and a girl. They are all gifted and talented differently. You're supposed to raise them and support them the same way, so that the other one does not feel inferior of the other one. How are we going to help these children? Because tomorrow they are tomorrow's leaders. Abazadde abamu muyina omuze. Omwana gw'olaba akola ennyo mu kiraasi gw'otinkiza. Omwana gw'olaba ayogera ennyo gw'otinkiza simanya ye mugezi. Ani akugambye nti ayogera ennyo ye mugezi? Omanyi obusiru bwe beetisa abo. Ayogera nnyo naye ayogera ki? Nze dde nnyo nali soogera nnyo kati we wa complaining n'ogenda ng'ogamba abantu nti njogera nnyo. Ngamba oyo yakikola sigamba mmwe bambi bendaba. Ngamba oyo yatufuukira bamuyita ring leader. Yeri erinnya lye ba ring leaders. Olukwata essimu. Ekikulu ayogera nnyo. Ate n'abyogere ng'avuddeko ku ssimu abyogera okyawulira. N'alyoka akunganya group ye yonna n'abagamba bonna ne ba boycottinga ndiko abo ba ring leaders. My dad used one time he brought a young man to help me with my mathematics. Mutabani wa mukulu musenze. Tojja kubitegeera ebyo biveeko. Kati ngazza kunyambako mu mathematics. I was in primary school at the time. I was in my primary 5 or 6. The young man, this time round, Tata he was doing his own things, read his newspapers. Now for us, we are seated there. It was in the evening at around 7:30 coming to 8, because the young man used to stay near home. Mwana wa mkwano gwa Tata. Tata identifies and recognizes people with different gifts and talents. He supported many people during his time. I tend to car research with my siblings. Now, the young man asked a question. No, I was going to primary 7. Or I was in primary 7 when he came. That is 1997. I was 12 years at the time. So he asked a question and I replied back. My dad put the newspapers down like this. And I replied in English. Tata put the newspapers down. And he did like this, his head. We continued with the young man, and did he wait for the young man to go? Or he made the compliment when he's still there? Then he said, Esther, I did not know that you can express yourself in English like that. Because with Esther, you'll not find me shouting. And I'm one person who said, never could it judge you. Okay, Nganzirako ayogera oluzungu ayimba nnyo buli kimu nga ye ebibyo ebya Esther. Nga bonda abantu nolabwe nti bwe natunula nga ndi muto. Nga abantu we bajja nga nkyuka nga ntunula bwenti nga ntunula eno. Ebigambo byange byabeeranga bitono. Young Ngamba, I'm so proud of you. I did not know you can. I looked at Tata, I almost asked him, why do you pay school fees? I remember actually I asked him a question. Yes, he gave us the liberty to we communicate. They call that communication. He raised children who can communicate. When he asks a question, he expects an answer, and make sure you can argue your answer out, but with respect. He gave us an opportunity to speak. When I see people struggling with me that I speak, I answer back. My friend, I was raised to speak. That's why we have a mouth. When you say things I don't like, I'm going to answer back. If you have a problem with it, then you are looking for the wrong person in me. Because if you allow your siblings to speak and the group of people you walk around with, when it comes to me, you shut me up, then I don't belong in your circle. I'm not so good with gangs. Because when I see anything wrong being done, I don't keep quiet. I will tell the leader, I don't think that is right. I will air out my opinion. I don't wait for you to ask for the opinion. But lately I do. I keep quiet and I stay away. Because I got tired of being disrespected by especially young blood. You're young in age and you're young in serving the Lord. And those who are older than me and they are young in serving the Lord, bakalokoka. Ne babafuula ba pastor. Abo mbegendereza abo. Bagalo bawa ona. Ate nga engoye zaabwe zitukala. Continue. Abo When it comes to service, I'm very careful because you're playing with people's lives and you cannot give accountability for their losses. You teach them the wrong things. It does not go down well with me. Good. Because when you teach them the wrong things, some of your people upstairs, when you tell them A, that is A. They cannot think beyond their nose because you put them in a cage. The salvation I know is not a cage kind of thing. The eggs I eat are cage free. God. But for Cain and his offering, he had no respect. So Cain became extremely angry, indignant, and he looked annoyed and hostile. And the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you so angry? And why do you look annoyed?" Some of you are like that in service. Ogamba, why are they going so frequenting to the other side? What is it that I'm not doing right? Instead of learning and asking the other leader, your fellow leader, that how do we do this? How do you take it to the next level? We become jealous. And you start saying bad words about your friend in the other altar. You know, we have very many things out there. There are altars, there are business entities. I see people in a BNI. What is that in full? I don't know. Business in network, whatever you call it. Then I see entrepreneurs. I see this maza, the other maza. These ones are collecting us this side. Sate you can correct us. Munne wa collecting. Twafuka biweebwayo. Ate ekisinga okuntabula n'okunzijjako enviiri ku mutwe bemukulembera bonna omanyi mpozi eriya bwe batanyigira mu ttooke bo balina emputtu naturally tomala gamuteeka mu bintu bya kisiru era yagenda kugamba mukwano agamba baakoowa okubakozesa mutandika ekintu nga kyabadde kyakubazimba omukulembeze n'atuuka eri ng'aleeta bizinensi ze zokka zaayogerako nga tayagala mmwe mwogere kuzaamu. Mukwano, you're working with people who are talented. And when nze bwe mbeera n'abantu ne mmanya nti omuntu alina talent, bannange oyo mwekwatanga kabaani ku ndongo ne mwagala nnyo. Nsobola okuyiga byakola. N'ebyange byenkola nsooka ne mbivaako tetubyogerako. Ne tutunuulira ye byakola bikola atya. Bwe naagenda eka nsobola okubikola nange. Oyo abakyali wange nnyo. Njagala nnyo abato abali talent bansanyusa. Oyo mba muteeka buteesi mu think tank. Kubanga alina wagenda okukuyisa. It might not be today. Because anything you're doing that involves human beings, you need these people who are talented in different ways. Because you don't have what they have. Don't become jealous because you're going to become a vagabond. Cain became a vagabond. Oyo tumuleke tuli kuba ring leaders. Mbadde nzizayo bana batasoma Bible. Tuyinza tukenera bagamba yiyi ate fe eri mu original eri mu kanisa yaffe y'abakatoliki batugamba yazaala Ebo ne Cain. Ate Seth avuddewa. Cain killed Abel because of a sacrifice. Cain's work was not celebrated. The way we don't celebrate, Cain's work was not celebrated because he killed his brother and his work yakolaga divengalye. There was no excellence in his work. Most of you just do things for. When there is no excellence in your work, you won't earn any respect. You want to be on top of others? You need to excel. And you need to be a person who is humble. You want to be above everyone else? Do what they cannot do. Forgive them. I left you 10 points, 10 key points. Forgive them, love them, support them, encourage them. Don't wait for them to do it. If you wait for them to do it, you'll always be behind them. You want to be on top of things? Do what they cannot do. Whether they support you or not, you support them. They cannot support you. Tebalina ogwo omutima tebagulina basabiriza bo. Kisabe Katonda akikuwe. Tochikakambuno ochikakambuno obalumye simanyi obalage mukwano ochikolera gwe. N'abaana bo 4 generations ahead of you. Luti ne Ibrahimu. Ibrahimu yalina okweyotowaza. Abraham was Lot's uncle. He lowered himself and Lot thought he was up there. And he told Lot, look wherever you see and you choose. Some of you cannot do that. You're going to choose the mukwano. Abraham was told by God to move. God did not tell Lot. Some of you, it is God that has told you to start something. Abo bo bisanya nabo bolwana nabo, God never told them. That's why they struggle and work so hard to prove a point. When God has sent you, don't prove a point. It just comes as sweet. When I find men and women who say God called you into service and you're fighting with... I just look at you and I'm like, now look at this one also. God called you. God did not call the other person you're competing with. I don't compete with anyone. There's someone who said that I came to steal their people in their altars. I looked and I'm like, now look at these ones. I steal your people for what? And I take them away. I am seated here. I steal them and take them away. I am just doing my part. I'm just a watchman. That's it. Olimwegayirizi na toli watchman. There is a difference between the two. You are just an intercessor, but you're not a watchman. I watch over you as an intercessor. You don't watch over me. Every time I sit on altars where there are so-called intercessors, buli we wasaba babeereyo sabira mwami n'abaana ne business yo. Bwe tutandika okusabira eggwanga osabayo kimu bibiri ng'oyayuuya nga kiggwa nga mweyongerayo tebibakwatako. Nze when it comes to a nation, it's at heart. Olowooza omwami sirina. Abaana olowooza sirina. Ndi wa kitalo nnyo nga bwe neerowoozaako mukwano. When it comes to a nation, ekyange kisusa. Kubanga ogwo muli assignment yange. Bwe njikola bulungi mukwano nange eno mba bulungi mba mulaala. Abalala nga wethe batawaanye eyange ebatiika. Abalala nga babacuunya babagobaganya mukwano. Ne kyange kiralamu. Nze kasita natereera Katonda wayagala mbeere. Buli ekyange kikola bukozi tiiki, buli kimu kikola tiiki. Nze sikola podcasts na documentaries ngammwe. Si bye byandeeta. Nti kati simanya muzita kye vlogo. Nze mukwano siri muboloozi. Nedda mukwano siri muboloozi. Nze nnina omulimu ogwetengeredde mukwano. Nze setaga simanya other sources of income. My other source of income is being a watchman. if that's what you want to call it. Esther, does it pay off? Obulungi ennyo. Try it. Let us go back to safe. Buli omu ayimirire mu katiike k'asobola ka level ko gy'afiira. Twanguwe tusanga omusajja oli omunene mu banene nga nawe bw'otugambye nti oli munene ne taata wo munene kandi nawe oba mutaata wo munene okusinga ono omusajja kooti. Tuzeyo ku Genesis chapter 5. When Adam lived 130 years, he became the father of a son in his own likeness. But remember, when the chapter was starting the book, this is the book, the written record, the history. Do you have your history too? Do you know where you come from? Abalokole munsanyusa omubuuzo ovaawa. Anze ndi muzzukulu wa jjajja Jesus. N'omutunuulira n'ogamba. Whoever is teaching you Bible study is in trouble. When God created man, he made him in the likeness of God, not physical, but a spiritual personality and moral likeness. He created them male and female, and blessed them and named them. Blessed them and named them. Why was he giving them names? You're supposed to be blessing us as a parent, as a mama, and you're giving us names. And named them. That's why you all have a name. Mankind at the time they were created. When Adam had lived 130, after living 130 years, 130 what? 30 years, right? Why 130? That one you ask your spiritual fathers. He became the father of a son in his own likeness. In his own likeness. That is why you look like your father. That's why you look like your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-great-great-uncle you've never seen. And you know why? Because of sin. Adam disobeyed God. And making love was introduced so that there is multiplication. Can you imagine we are a result of sin? That is why parents encourage your children to stop having sex. Because any child they are giving birth to is a result of sin. Tell your kids to wait so that they can mount up with wings and they become eagles. So that they can be officially married. So that the sin is wiped. You people are just playing with marriage. Boys and girls, every time you have sex, obey a prostitute when you're not married. Or she take a dead. Good. Bagambe, bonna bagambe, abatajja mu kiraasa abeebuzaabuza. Buli lw'obeera mu group n'emikwano gyo nga bakola ebintu nga si bafumbo ngo bagamba bamalaaya baffe nga muli ba kitalo. Ebivubuka bibeera mu mukyaki mu kwaya nga byebaka ku bawala mu kyaki nga pastor takimanyi. Ebivubuka birimbye abawala mu kyaki. Kimuluimbeko nno nga tekimwebaseeko naye bisooka kubeebakako. Naye nammwe abawala apaana. Gwe wenna n'obeera tempo ya Mukama. Notalinda kusaabuukulula. Ekyo kirongo John ekyo olw'okuba kyekikulira abasimanya ba wasipa nekikwebakako mbuno kihandisaamu. Handisa my foot. Mbu kirina eddoboozi ery'akabi. Nechikusaaba okulula nga kabona tanaba kusiiringa. Girls, you've lowered the bar namwe. Namwe mulimba. Ekyo kirongo John tekisobola kukulindako. Kigenda kufa nnyo. Ekisooka si kye kisoose okwebakako. Bibeereyo nga biri obumpwancu ku kkubo n'obuyuukiyuuki. Abazadde muyambe abaana bammwe. Omwana n'atuuka okufumbirwa nga bijondu babiyita there is a name. I wanted us to use that name when someone has no identity, so that I don't use your name. Nedda tubiyite babayite erinnya lwaki ndira Jonde. I'm forgetting the name they use when someone has no identity, like they don't know who it is. Do they use the word John? It starts with Jonde, something like that. Nedda eyotuveyo girls. Do you know a machine they use to ground peanut? Omanye kino omusekuzo bagita pisto. Ekinu bw'okyazika omuntu we bakikomyawo mulina okukyoza. Kubanga abamu basitakuliramu eddagala. Lwaki oyagala okufuuka ekinu mukwano? Nga bagenda bakweyazika ku kyalo. Oza kimukasana nabye n'entukula ate baleese detour. You know you detour yourself. You buy that expensive soap and you shower. Sweetheart, it's a spiritual thing. After he became the father of Seth, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So Adam lived 930 years in all, and he died. He lived 930 years. There is a 30 at the end all the time. There is a 30. 930. How many 30s are in the 900? There are 100. No. How many 30s are in? Each 100 has 3 30s. And a 10 is left there. How many 30s are those? Nine times 3 is 27, right? Do the math and help yourself. And he died. When Seth was 105 years old, he became the father of Enos. Seth lived 807 years after the birth of Enos, and he had other sons and daughters. So Seth lived 912 years, and he died. His father lived 930. Now for him, he's living 912. Then, when Enos was 90 years old, the years of giving birth were reducing to become a small number. Even the years of dying, he kept on reducing also. 14. Enos was 90 years old. He became the father of Kenan. Enos lived 815 years. After the birth of Kenan and other sons and daughters, Enos lived 905 years. From 930. Now we are at 912. Now we are at 905. When Kenana was 70 years old, he became the father of Mahalalel. Kenana lived 840 years after the birth of Mahalalel and had other sons and daughters, and Kenana lived 910 years. Now for him, he died 5 years more than his father. He had added 5 years more. Now he's trying to go back to the number. When Halale was 65 years old, the number reduced so much from 100 to 65 years, became the father of Gerald. Mahalalel lived 830 years after the birth of Gerald and had other sons and daughters. So Mahalalel lived 895 years and he died. Your father is how old? How was your grandfather? How old was your grandfather when he died? Sit down. It is a personal affair. Sit down on your own. Not in that lifestyle group you keep walking around and hopping from here to there. You as you. I want you to sit down, you as you, and talk to yourself. Have a meeting with yourself. I love having those meetings. They are very interesting. I've always had those meetings while I was growing up. So that by the time I get out there, you don't give me any identity the way you want. Because I want to be recognized in society and accepted. No. I already know who I am. You don't recognize me and accept me in society the way I am. Deal with it. It will not stop the fact that I'm a Ugandan. When they call Ugandans, I follow suit. I'm a Ugandan by birth. You cannot take that out. But I am by naturalization. When they call Americans out, Mukwana, whether I drive a Beamer, whether I don't drive, and you have nothing to do about it, whether you attend these classes or not, whether your warring leader said the boycott her, Mukwano, it is given to me by the authority of the country. I earned it, I did not steal it. And he wrote a letter and he said, "Dear fellow American, it was a personal to moi. Today you have earned a new title. Earning a new title. I worked for the title for 5 years. I paid taxes. I did not get anything from government. That is the greatest honor our democracy can confer citizen of the United States of America. Congratulations and thank you for choosing us and for believing that America is worthy of your aspirations." Every immigrant comes to America from different circumstances and for the different reasons. Mukwano, that's why sibera mu bandi wagon. Ekyakuleta si kye kyandeeta. As much as I am a Yuga what? A Luga flow. To take out supporting care French man. Ono mama. Bawa mama wekitiibwa. Ate teyandifuuse maama nga taata wo takoze atya? singa taata wange teyasanyuka nnyo atono nandi muyise maama. Singa taata wange teyasalawo naye yasalawo n'asalawo bulungi. Ffenna tusalawo naye okusalawo kulungi. Kubanga decision yonna gy'okola, it's going to affect everything and everyone in the environment in which you operate. Good. But like previous generations of immigrants, including in my own family, he's also an immigrant. There is at least one common trait: courage. It takes courage to leave behind everything you have ever known, your homes, lives, and loved ones, and start a new life in another country. Trust me, Esther left it behind in a painful way. I wanted to go to the UK. I had to start from scratch. Starting from scratch, there are people who don't understand starting from scratch, Chechi. Why? They came when their mothers are here. Some came because of their spouses. Some came because their relatives are already here and they gave them a safe landing. When I entered, 1 week and 3 days, they threw me out. I asked the Lord where next. The Lord told me where to go because he had sent me. And everywhere I went, the Lord delivered them in an amazing way. Every house I entered in the US, there was always a problem. And trust me, they never stayed the same. Kababe bazungu. Ennyumba zonna zensuzeemu. Mbasanga n'ebizibu byabwe. And God delivers them. Nsuze n'abasiraamu. N'abakatuliki. Abalokole. Buli nnyumba gye nnyingiddemu mukwano mu Amerika. Ebbanga lye mmaze wano. God has delivered them. Nina ey'omunnauganda gye nasanga ng'omwami yakava mu kkomera. Omwana waabwe ali mu kkomera. Right now they are flying high. Nina gye nayingira nga tebazaala. Mukwano. Kirala muko. Nina gye nayingira nga obufumbo bwagaana. Mukwano bwajja. Nina gye nayingira nga ssente yagaana. Baby. Kati tebagoba. Ne babuuza oba bajjukira olunaku lwe bansinkana. N'abeegatta ku mugendo gw'okwonoona amannya gange. But still, nsigala ndi waggulu kubanga nze ntambula ne Yesu omulamu agenda asumulula n'awonya abantu. Mwame what? Nga byagaana. Basabye basiibye nga biganye. Don't joke around. Nga kati abaana baabwe bakola, abaana baabwe balamu. Nga ate Katonda bw'akibakolera mu Amerika, ne mu nsi gye bava n'akibakolera. Naawe wobagwa ofanagana ganze tulina association mukana. Tujja kukola association. Wembeera omukulu yambuuza ng'omwaka gugenda kuggwako, ogenda kugenda. Ne mugamba not now. Nanga please stay, please stay. Nze sikuwa 10 kyange n'osigala kyekimu. Tebakulya ebinosi. Waliwo be nalokera $20 kati. Just $20. Buli kimu ne kitereera. Navaayo banvumye bivumo ne baŋŋamba nga bwe nabaleetera eddogo. nga taata w'abaana namusanga ali ku walagi ng'ennyumba ejjudde obuyenje. Wekiba kyali kituseeko kagawaka mwana. Ogwange, after doing God's work in your life, I leave. I don't overstay my stay. Every time I overstay my stay, we call them problems. That is why in 2018, I told the Lord, I'm tired, I want out. But I want you to orchestrate it. Trust me. When I delight in the Lord, He gives me the desires of my heart. The Lord orchestrated it. And the management of the building told them, throw her out. If you don't throw her out, we will throw her out. And I'm the first one in all the years they had spent in the US. The other people they hosted, the management of the building never told them to throw her out or them out. I was the first of my kind. They did not know that Mia was already ready. I left when my account has more than $4,000 on my account. I could support myself out. How much was I getting? Nze bwenchikoowa mugenda okunkowanga nabakoowa dda. That is Esther for you. Nkuwa reality olekera ogenda ngoyogera ebitakwatagana kubanga ndiko kibooko ebera mu Genesis 12. Katini. Ebbaluwa y'omukulu Joe Biden egirebedde ebbali yenza najja ku mulembe gwa Nedda najja ku mulembe gwa Trump. Ngenda okufuuka omutuuze nga Joe Biden yagivuga emmotoka. Saalinda mukulu Trump kudda mu ntebe kufuna mpapula. Ne neekolamu omulimu underground in silence. Joe Biden n'alyoka ateekako signature. Mukwano, zino bazigaba mu White House yokka. Teziva ku NASA Road. This seal is an original. This is how Joe Biden signs. Bannaffe abagenda okudda ku mulembe gw'omukulu Donald Trump, signature Donald Trump mwena mumanyi bwefaanana, eba mpanvu bulungi. Yazisayininga. Tebamusayiningira. Kati buli oyinanga oyina ebbaluwa ya Joe Biden. Tuyina meeting, tuyina association. Eyo toveeyo. Eno nagifuna kola mulimu gwa Mukama siguzannyira. Tebaleetamu muzannyo. Gwe yiye ebbaluwa wafuna ya kimpozi. Yakugaggawaza abeewuwo n'abeewamwe. Naawe Mukama kikuweeremu omukisa okiwuliremu emirembe. Good. Nange Mukama ekyange kakimperemu omukisa nkiwuliremu emirembe. Eno ebbaluwa mukwano yakukola ki? Watch over Uganda. If I refuse. Nyabo. Eno ebbaluwa ogiraba is to watch over Uganda. Oyina side aso. Eyange yagirako bino. Good. Obedience. Omusajja emyaka gigenda gikendeera. Tukulabula ozeyo emyaka tata oko yafiira kwe yalwalira emyaka giddeyo waggulu oli awo weebuza amagezi. Ne bwe weeyagala taata waakuziika sikirina mbuzibu. Ffe tujja kaaba yeeye amaziga gange gabeera kumpi buli ssaawa. Omwana tuto yagenze naafe ennaku n'ennume eno ekitiibwa neempulira ye ne ngamba Saturday 5 was very small. Omwana yabadde atandika butandiisi. Kati nno ba propagandist ne batandika. Mukwano bwe nnaaba nakola propaganda ngenda kukola investigation. bwe yayingira mu ggwanga yatuukirawa baani abaamulaba ensonga yali emuleese yali ki kye yali alina okukola kubanga ng'abagole you don't move around you stay home naye yakomawo mu ggwanga gye nabawaako warning nti omwoyo w'okufa akola atya kati sitaani ye aba anoonya point of contact to take you out mbawoniinze temuwulira weefuula omugezi oli abuuza yayayongera kaase kaalina mulinda bagagga boogere mukama atuma abagagga babifeekeera iyo bifeekeera bwayogera mwenna ne mbeera kacano kabifeekeera temuvaako omugagga yayogedde omugagga mukwano abagagga tebamanyi Yesu bamwogerako bwogezi era abagagga bali mu kitanda beebaza yazimba abagagga abasaba abalina ebyoto babale ku ngalo abagagga abamanyi Yesu tebava ku kyoto bayobu nze nno gwoliko mpise mwavu nnyo olowooza nze nga nzisa omukka bwe njagala n'enguyisa eno we omulamu bw'akola nennaku ne mmukuula ate nkole nti siri ku levo yo mukwano naagulira ekikomando kontini mukwano neegulira ekikomando ebyobugagga byange si byakuteeka eyo kubibalaabala mubiteeke mu Guinness Book of Records ate ojja genda ombuuza ebyobugagga byange nkubuuza oba abaana b'ewammwe basoma bwe bwanga onnoonya obugagga obwange tunuulira abarelatives bo b'otalabirira ojja kusangayo obugagga bwange kontini When Hilary was 65 years old, he became the father of Gerald. Hilary lived 830 years after the birth of Gerald and had other sons and daughters. So Hilary lived 895 years and he died. When Gerald was 162 years old, he became the father of Enoch. Gerald lived 800 years after the birth of Enoch and had other sons and daughters. You also have sons and daughters, and among them you have a son called Enoch. Abambamita Enoch. Enoka, abagamba Enoch. I don't see an I there. It's because in Uganda we study vowels. E is E, not E. A, E, O, U. Those are vowels. So that we can easily pronounce the words. People who struggle with pronunciation is because they don't know vowels. Vawerozi. So Enoch, not Enoch. Anyway, it depends on the country you come from and your level of education and who taught you English when you were beginning. Good. And who influences the English you speak. The English I speak is influenced by the United Kingdom. It was the Queen, not the King. Good. Gerald lived 800 years after the birth of Enoch and had other sons and daughters. So Gerald lived 962 years and he died. The Queen does not influence my accent. Only influences the pronunciation of words, as in Oluzungu. There are two different things. Yes, the accent is influenced by me, myself, and I. Because Queen w'Ebungereza nze samulaba. Okay, namusomako mu bitabo. Naye tetusisinkanangako eye to eye. okiteeketi naye nga nina abamusinkana bali mu kalayini naawe woba bamusinkanako eyo nakukwata mu ngalo. Nkwagala nnyo eizawe. When Enoch was 65 years, do you have a 65-year-old in the house? Because the in number right now is 65. When you clock 65, you're supposed to retire. But when you retire, chicho say mabega. At 65, chicho say mabega. You find 65-year-old women ng'olugambo n'okwono na reputation z'abantu kwatudde kwalya. Omukazi omukulu 65 years. Eyandibadde mu bazzukulu ng'abuusabuusa. Ali mu lugambo. Ali mu ntalo ez'ekisiru, ali mu za politics, ali mu z'echurch, ali mu za family, ali mu za music, ali mu za media, ali mu za education, economics. Omukazi omukulu 65 years. Nga naye akyabiisanya n'abaana abato. Ngagamba nze sivaako mulembe. Yenna ajudde enkanyanya akaddiye nno omanye ekimukaddiyiza lugambo. Yenna alina amameme gamukuba lwa lugambo. "65 years. I look at men abali 65 and I'm like, naye akyali mu ntalo. At 65 okyali mu ntalo se. Kati ba 40-year-olds banaakola ki? Kubanga bo obwongo bwabwe bunafu tebannakitegeera nti at 40 you are a king. Bakyali ku streets bakyadduka. I don't expect 30-year-olds to be on the streets running around. I expect 30-year-olds to be at work, 30-year-olds raising their children, training their next in line. I don't expect them to be running around. I hear banoonya bajjako mu 7. Ekijjako mu 7 is you working hard and adding value to the economy so that when you come to stand and you want to be the president of a nation, an MP and everything, we look at what you've done for us. Abasajja abakulu muli tuddeko Enoch. Enoch was 65 years old. He became the father of Methuselah. Enoch walked in habitual fellowship. Musomako musome obulamu bwa Enoch tobusobola. Ochawoza life is still short. Ngolina abaana. Who's going to take care of your kids when you're gone? Of course it will be your mother and father and your wife. You expect us to do what for your children? You join in any rousy, loud kind of thing? We're not going to be part of that mix. We ain't. You go to the streets and you strike. Sweetheart, I don't want to be part of whatever is going to happen to you. If your leaders are telling you to go, let them be ready to take care of your children just in case things go south, yet they were supposed to go north. So when you go to the streets, then what? Don't tell me the bad your so-called leaders have done. Show me the good you are doing to solve the bad the other leaders are doing. You're waiting to first get into the seat, then you show me. Where am I going to get the motivation now? Where am I getting the motivation? Do you know the criteria of choosing a hair? Do you know why your father never chose you? Do you know Do you have an idea why your father never chose you to be the heir? Yet you look like your father. When I started with my father, it's a spinning image, my friend. But they will tell me, no, it's your brother to stand in the foot. And trust me, as I told you, nze kitange simubanja, tebakulya ebinusu. Tebakulya ebinusu. Tata wange simubanja. When he gave me this, I have everything I want in this world. And I chose to give him my life until when he goes to be with the Lord. And I told the Lord, I don't leave when he's still here. I don't leave my parents on earth. That one we work on it daily. I leave them for who? Eh? I leave them for who? I tell you, I leave my parents for who? If my friends don't even know where I come from. I leave them for who? For my relatives who don't know where he stays. When we go for functions, they start asking you, Tata aliati. We are family at functions, my friend. I know it's happening in your houses. If the family call the church, just 1, 2, 3 people go and visit him. You want me to leave my father behind? Hapana. If I wanted my father to stay longer and myself, I run the race God's way. When we know the truth, it sets us free. I gave him for who? His siblings. His siblings have their own shenanigans, as you call it. Those who come to America, you learn words like shenanigans. Whatever it means, let us not use it until I understand exactly what it means. Enoch walked in habitual fellowship with God 300 years after the birth of Methuselah and had other sons and daughters. For 300 years, Enoch walked with the Lord in habitual. What is habitat? Do you know what it means to walk with the Lord for 300 years? You guys are joking. Olaba wakatambulako butambuzi myaka 40 gotugamba. I have walked with the Lord for 30 years. You look at the years they are talking about, they've walked with the Lord. Only 1 year. Walking in holiness. Only 1. The other years. Let us read that in Luganda. Enoch walked, verses 22. Enoka n'atambulira wamu ne Katonda bwe yamala okuzaala Mesusera emyaka 3 n'azaala abaana ab'obulenzi n'ab'obuwala. Ennaku zonna eza Enoka ne ziba emyaka 365. At 65, he gives birth, and 300 years he walks with the Lord. Enoka n'atambulira wamu ne Katonda, so n'atabeerawo kubanga Katonda yamutwala. Let's go back to English. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years, and in relevant fear and obedience, in reverent fear and obedience. Don't wake up to teach us obedience. Ngakulemye okutambuliramu. Muleke. Now I'm talking to teachers. Stay away from teaching us things byemutatambuliramu. Leave us alone. For us, we learn because of your actions. I'm not going to come to those classes of obedience of yours when you're not obedient. We are tired of a life which is not practical. We are tired of liars. That is why people in church are not walking right with the Lord. Because our leaders are not practical. Omugamba Katonda yagambye n'atunula eri ajja kukola nga Katonda mbw'ayogedde naye na personal level oba ayogedde na mukyala we oba baana be. Kati if you're none of the above, God has not spoken. Si mmwe musoose. Kyokka eno twongera kuwa. Tebikukwatako after all omwana yafudde si wuwo. Ate n'ekirala teyalokoka. Ne mugumusalira yabannange. Oli n'ateekayo ka YouTube channel kalamba. Oyo yafunye lwa kitawe. Abantu abakulu. Instead of walking right with the Lord. Eyo tuveyo tugende wa Yabeezi. Omusajja Enoka mukulaze. Nawe oli eyowooza ffe tuli abasajja enwaŋŋuli. Abasajja abaakola mu kiki kye wakola. Abasajja enwaŋŋuli, Already nkimanyi nti oli musajja. Naye kiki ky'okoze ekikufuula different from all other men. Bonna abafunisa abakazi embuto. Gwe tofunisa abakazi embuto. Enkwaso tolina. Enkwaso tolina. Oyina testicles naye obujulizi tobuwa. Kubanga every man is supposed to be tested. And we see whether you're HIV positive or negative. Kyekirala. Okwata omuzindaalo. Omuzindaalo gwe gukwewaanya. Jesus of Nazareth. N'abakazi emizindaalo bagikwata. Wazimbye ennyumba ki gye wazimbye, wagizimbyewo. Mwina ebintu emwewaaniramu n'ensiriikirira. Naawooza ndi musajja. Omusajja yakola atya? Omusajja yakola atya? Omusajja alina okuba nga Enoka. Nze ye musajja gwe mmanyi. Tusome Yabeezi tuve wano. 1 Chronicles chapter 4. The sons of Judah, Perez, Hezron, Camil, Huri, and Shobal. You're also a son to someone, right? Good. And why was the Bible over talking about men? Because they carry the seed. Be balina enkwaso, balina ekikwanso. Abazadde muyamba abaana bammwe balina ebikwanso. Ebikwanso bisiba nnappi. Empoza abaana bammwe bambala pampers kati. Kubanga bw'oba oyambala ennappi nga bagiteekako ekikwanso n'ofuuka ddi malaaya. Mpozi bya pampa. Eserera buseerezi. I forget sometimes. Omwana bufukafuka ku buliri. Omwana musimbe. Mwakoye mwasuzeewa.
Gwe eyeweeza omumba gwe bazikuba omunafu tagwa ddalu. Kubanga bw'ogamba nti nno oli mulalu obeera ku streets, olina okuba nga omanyi okudduka, poliisi egenda kubasanga mu kasasiro ebakwate. Kubanga tulina okumanya lwaki muli ku nguudo. Enguudo tebaakolerako baana ba street. Buli mwana alina okubeera n'ewaabwe. Lwaki abaana bali ku streets? Ogenda kuŋŋamba Museveni atufuze bubi, kiki kyotegeeza? Museveni yabazaala. Leero nabagambye classes z'aba ring leaders. Gwe ng'omukulembeze w'ekyo ekyoto, gwe ng'omukulembeze w'ekkanisa, gwe ng'omukulembeze w'ako ka family, gwe ng'omukulembeze wa community, gwe nga LC, gwe nga member of parliament, gwe nga minister, kiki kyokoze? Abaana baleme okugenda ku nguudo. Abazadde bafudde. Famire zizammwe zikola mulimu ki? Kubanga oli mutabani wa Enoka, oli muzzukulu wa Mesusera, oli muzzukulu wa Adamu, muzzukulu wa Kirikiri, byonna oli muzzukulu wa Gerard. Bakukoledde kinga kitaawo afudde. Okujjako okujja okulaanira ebintu by'omufu. Enze nawoninga abakulu b'ekika. Omuntu wamwe bwafa, bwe mumanya nti nno taatawo simanya ali mwana wa gundi, simanya sisi brother wa gundi, bajjawo ne bakuwa olukalala lwa family mwova n'okanula amaaso n'osiriikirira n'ogamba yaahe. N'obuuza bano bonna abakuŋŋaanye baali ludda wa musajja ng'alwala for 20 good years. Buli omu avaayo okuwa lusepiiki ebyafaayo by'omugenzi. Gw'obuulire nze taata wange yaani. Oh, anyway, buulira abo abatamumanyi mpozi. Omuntu nga mulamu tosobola namwogerako, tosobola namuwaako bujulizi, omulinda akutuke. Abaana bawadde obujulizi ku Rajiv n'enkola nti. Naye yakubyako naye akafaananyi olw'olumu naye n'akajjayo. Ne balyoka bateekayo olutribute. Kati muwala we mukyova okuleeta obwo bufaananyi ne butribute, lwaki temwaleese ssente? Muwala we munnange ssente zavudde mu tribute ya kitaawe. Ng'emikwano mukoleeyo ka foundation, buli omu aleeteyo omutwalo mwe beyaguliranga walagi. Oyinza n'okutuukayo nga temulina kye mwawaddeyo. Mwe babbuloga. Buli omu aleeteyo omutwalo. Muwala we mukolemu ekintu, muwala we kwanajjukirira taata we nnyo. Kubanga kati ye muto myaka 3. Agambe nti omwaka gundi ne gundi taata wange yali wa kitalo. Taata wange yagatta value ku ggwanga bwati ne bwati. Taata wange bwati bwe yakolera Uganda kubanga muyindi naye baamuzaalira Yuga Flow. Alabe tribute kubanga abantu babitereka. Taata wange yasomesa abaana bangi, abaana b'abanaku. Abaana b'abanaku kati omusajja yagenza abaana b'abanaku we banayita banajjukira gye bava bambuuze. Bambuuze obanga mbagala. Bw'aba bakuvuma nga bakumanyira n'abaana b'abanaku batuula eyo nga basaakaanya. Omusanga nga tudde mu kiboozi. Tugenda kulitereeza eggwanga mwagala temwagala. The sons of Judah, Perez, Hezron, Camry, Kami, the motor car, then in me.
Hira, and Shobal. Real, the son of Shobal, became the father of Jahath, and Jahath became the father of Ahumai and Lad. These were the families of the Zorothites. These were the sons of Etima, Jezreel, Ishma, and Idbash, and the name of their sister was Hazelponi. That is the time. Penuel was the father of Goda and Ezra, the father of Hashu. These were the sons of Huri, the eldest of Ephrahath, the father of Bethlehem. Ashura, the father of Tekoa, had 2 wives, Halo and Nara. Nara bore him Ahuzim, Harpa, Temin, and Hahashtiri. These were Nara's sons, and sons of Harol, Zerath, Izhar, and Ethan. You know the pronunciation, you're the one good in English, I am not. Kozi, and full stop. Then Kozi fathered Anub, Zeboba, and the families of Ahalel, the son of Harum. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. Now, Jabez. Jabawat? Jabez. Hold on something, I look for something here. Let me first go back to chapter 3 of 1 Chronicles. These were the sons of David who were born to him in Hebron. The firstborn was Amnon. By Ahinoam, the Jezreelites. Second Daniel, Chireba, by Abigail the Carmelites. The third was Absalom, the son of Micah, daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. Fourth, Adonai, the son of Haggith. Fifth, Sephahatai, by Abital. Sixth, Itrim, by his wife Igal. Naye Daudi. Enekola ngasi ya mlembe. These 6 were born to David in Hebron. He reigned there 7 years and 6 months, and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years. These were born to David in Jerusalem. Bali Hebron. Gogendo zala buli wamu. Even to date, tukyalina abasajja bwe batyo. Nogendo kola magamaga. Nosangayo Nnakimera. Nakuzaalira apuuli. Anti Nnakimera bagenda omukeberanga tamerangako. Ng'alimu omulugwala, alimu omutooro. Kwegamba nosirikirira nogamba yiyi Nnakimera omulugwala yavuddewa. Iyi gyali Nnakimera omulugwala genda maaso. Nazaala apuuli, nazaala karo, nazaala kiiki. Yazaalayo 3 emagamaga. Naava emagamaga n'agenda epade. Nayo n'akuŋŋaanya ay'abe epade. N'ava epade n'agenda emalabba. Nayo n'akuŋŋaanya. Tuba tuli awo omukulu n'afuluma eggwanga n'agenda e Canada. Anti talina mpapula. Nange. Ne Canada n'azaalayo ka Smith. Kati nno we Canada ng'amanyi yekka yali ku mugendo. Myaka emeka. Kwazalira abo bonna abaana. Abasajja balava edduka tobanyongera. tugende maaso. Oyo tumuveeko azaale Canada. Talina mpapula. Canada neegaana. Bayombye n'owe Canada n'ayita mu n'agenda e Sweden. Talina mpapula. Naye n'asangayo Ishrim. Naye n'amuzaalamu. N'ava e Sweden. N'agenda e Netherlands. N'agenda e Norway. Buli gy'agenda y'azaalayo. Okitekete. N'agenda. These were born to David in Jerusalem: Shimea, Shammah, Shobob, Nathan, Solomon, four by Bashua, which is Bathsheba, daughter of Amiel, Eliam. Then Abir, Elishama, Elishua in brackets, Eliphelet, Elphelet, Noga, Nagom Saja ina amanya g'abaana. Nogha, Nepheg, Japhai, Elishama, Elada, Beliada, and Eliphelet, 9 in all. Eri mukaaga bano mwenda banange. Katondest. All these were the sons of David, besides the sons of the concubines. Aina never concubines, and Tamar was their sister. Yazalanga abalenzi okusinga abasajja abazaala ennyo bazaala abaana abalenzi. Solomon's son was Leboam. Abijah was his son. Solomon's son was Rehoboam. Then we have Abijah was his son. Asa his son. Jehoshaphat his son. Joram his son. Ahazi his son. Joash his son. Amaziah his son. Azariah his son. Jotham his son. Ahazi his son. Hezekiah his son. Manasseh his son. Amnon his son. Josiah his son. The sons of Josiah, the firstborn: Johanna, second; Joachim, in brackets Eliakim, third; Zedekiah, the fourth. Zedekiah. Then the fourth, Jehoazi, Sharum. The sons, descendants of Joachim, we have Joachim, his son; Zedekiah, his son. The sons, now these are fathers with their boys. They give the son of a particular man, but they give the grandchildren too. That's why they say his son, his son. It's his son is for the son of the other son. Okay. But the way you have your family affairs, doesn't. Some of you asked, why do we have genealogy? For crying out loud. God wanted you to know where you come from and why you're struggling with the things you're struggling with. Omulembe gwa Yesu gwandibadde ate gulinamu amagezi mangi okusinga oguli ogwa Musa. Naye owatukula amagezi ne tugaleka wansi nange sikitegeera. Bannange abalokole ate mwe mwandibadde ku level ndala. Kubanga lwaki bawanga genealogy kweyamba mu deliverance. Oza kimtebi nkwatako oli mulalu. Obeera otya nga walokoka ng'oli pasita ng'okyayenda. Kubanga ojjudde omubiri n'omusaayi ova mu layino ina kalineegi gy'ova. Sitaani amanyi alina omuze oguzza ebikadde obugoye bwe wammwe obukadde. Kubanga mutambulira mu compromise mwekkiriranya. Kubanga bwe walokoka tewakyuka. Mukama yeebazibwa is on your mouth. You need to change. So that your father's mistakes are not repeated. But when you just walk aimlessly. The Bible is our manual. The way you buy a car, it has a manual. The way you buy
a watch and it has a manual. The way you buy a phone and it has a manual, so that when there is any fault, you fix it using the manual. This is the human manual. But how many have one and read it and do what it says? We love teaching it, but we don't walk the talk. Who does that? You find the same pastor teaching about fornication. He's having 2 women. He throws out his first wife of the covenant and he brings another girl. Then covers himself and he says, touch not the anointed. May I have the authority to touch you? The moment he gave me the shoes of a watchman, you're not above the law. Sin is sin. When you fornicate, I tell you that you're fornicated. And you need to go for a sabbatical leave. Put your life in order. Leave the pulpit alone. Because every time you stand with your sin out there, it multiplies itself. Because every time you open your mouth, the people you lead keep thinking that that is how things are done. They're like, if our pastor can sleep around with more than one girl, it become a norm, a trend. We will not allow it in our nations. So those are the lines. When you read down, the kids are there. There are very many. The way you're also many where you come from. You need to know where you come from to solve that problem that you're struggling with. You need to ask people if you cannot find out the real truth about your father. Ask. I've helped myself to understand me when people are giving me false identities. Some of them have had rumors. Then they put me in that garment of the rumor they had. You want to know the truth about me? Ask me. I'll give you the date and the year. And who said what, where, when. Then you can conclude on your own. You have the brains to think beyond your nose. 14. Let's go back to Jabez. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers, but his mother named him Jabez, saying, because I gave birth to him in pain. In the Bible, the kids' names, most of them came out of what the mother was going through. And some of you, your mothers are giving you names because of what they went through. I thank God my mother didn't do that to us. Because a name is something big. Because by the time they gave birth to us, they had gotten married. It is a seal to make a covenant. And God gave them the names we carry. Because God was protecting his work for such a time as this. God was protecting his work in our lives for such a time as this. God gave them a message about their firstborn. Because Mama was reading the book of Esther for 9 good months when she was pregnant with me, she gave me Esther. When I was taken to be given names after 8 days, she told the auntie to my dad. The auntie gave me her names. And she carried me. I have the photo. You know, there are people who sit there and say funny things about people. You were not there. I warned some of the family members and I told them, the only evidence you have are the photos. When someone comes out and says bad words and you get annoyed and they speak bad about your father. They speak bad about your father. You have the photos. Use them. Don't even make noise. There are people who are not blood related. There are people who just got married into their family. They tend to have more history than the family owners. I was like, who does that? You're not in the bloodline. You just got married in the family. What do you know? I come from a family where they hid their secrets. And they would only tell them to bloodline. And they had ranks, people in ranks that carry the history of the family to help others. And when your turn is done, your memories hit hard. And after so many, I was next in line. But remember now, I gave my life to Christ. I gave my life to Christ. So I do it the Bible way. Because they copied everything from the Bible. Especially the tribe of Buganda. Buganda copied the Bible. And they hid it using their language. When I opened the wing of my family like this, there is a way it is in the Bible. I was like, the names we carry. And they will not speak our names in English. Our English names are pronounced in Uganda. Instead of calling you David, they call you Daudi. Instead of calling you Paul, they say Paulo. Instead of calling you Elisha, they say Elisa. Instead of calling you Elijah, they say Elia. And trust me, their names were according to the Bible. Then my father changed it a bit by giving his life to Christ. A personal relationship. They come from the Anglican setting. But Tata had to. And trust me, we had to pay for the consequences. He was told he's on his own. So when I see family members looking the other side when the man is struggling with his life, I cannot blame them. The owner of the family used her mouth and said he's on his own. It was an indirect way of throwing him out. But because they carry God in their hearts, they left him to stay around family. Because if his father was around, I don't think that would have been done. The other person was married. She had a family. She had a husband. And back in the day in Buganda, you don't just give your life to Christ. They disown you. They kept on the responsibility of parents by making sure he goes back to school. But there was no more career guidance. Whatever they say about you, whatever word your father or mother or whoever stands in that position says, it covers your children too. That is the power of authority. Yesterday we looked at Luke. We'll go back there. Luke chapter 9, where Jesus gave the right to the disciples to exercise their power and authority. So be careful when anyone in a position of a leader opens their mouth, positively or negatively. When a leader opens their mouth negatively upon my life or positively, they have followed me around. When someone said that even if I become homeless here, they can't help me, trust me, in 2020 August, the word almost came to pass. But because I was walking right with the Lord, because my being in the US, it is God who opened the door. And I had walked with the Lord for 35 years. There was no way I was becoming homeless here. because I chose to give my life to Christ and walk a personal journey and chose to walk right with my God. And because my parents have served the Lord and taken care of people, after my parents, we follow suit and we've done it too. There was no way God was allowing me to become homeless in the United States of America simply because a word is released by a mother who is a leader in society and in church. So as you move around with your anointing, use your mouth Jesus' way. Another mother released a word that I have run mad. You don't know me when you're opening your mouth. I carry a garment of kings, so whatever you say about me affects others in society. I was told that I'll be taken to the Republic of America because someone opened the mouth in the position of a leader that I disrespected leaders. And she never corrected it. They just cover themselves in anointing. And now this one is a pastor. And the other one is also a pastor who said that I ran mad. They are going to report me and they closed my store. Leaders, hello? Before you conclude anything on anyone, which position are you in? And you don't know who I am, and you don't know the reason why I came to the US. God sent me to every place I've been to. I did not go there because I know them. I was in Lawrenceville. They threw me out at night, but they waited for that day. They told me that I'm leaving. They said it at night at a dinner table. And I thought they had kept it to themselves. They talked about me when their kids are listening. Boys. And when the boy prayed for food, they used to quarrel about praying. I told them, praying, when they ask you to pray, it's a privilege. Please don't fight. I told them, pray, because it is part of your life. I taught the boys something before I left. 1 week and 3 days. And the boy prayed a prayer and said, Lord, bless Auntie Esther when you're taking her back to the airport. My friends, I could not eat that food. My heart sunk in. Because I was told to leave at a time when I had nothing. Yet, they changed my destination. They requested me to come and help them with their daughter. But they could not feel sorry for me. Because God had not sent me here to be a babysitter. I sent a message to someone to help me. They never replied till death. But last year, we talked to the person and she explained why she never replied to that message. But in 2019, the Lord had told someone to tell me. I was crying. It was during winter time. The bus had left me at midnight. It was snowing crazy. And I had to walk a journey of Nnakimera and Mutondwe at midnight. In the cold. And a call came in. The person told me, Esther, the Lord has told you, your journey has no hand of man in it. Stop crying. He has your back. That is the day I started forgiving my friends and my family members who could not help me when I needed the help. I requested some of my friends I go stay with them. They gave me excuses of their wives. I did not know how women behave here. If your wife does not accept,
no one is going to take you in. And I learned that unless you are someone's friend, a wife, whether the wife is a wife to your relative, here in the United States of America, she has the upper hand. So if you want to be very close to your family, very close to your friends, the boys, make sure their wives are your friends. So if you're making friends, start with the wife. Because with men, it's a walkover. When the wife of your relative or your friend does not approve, they will not take you in. Please don't ever get annoyed. I learned it the hard way. I learned it the hard way. When the wife refuses here in the United States of America, please don't ever bother yourself looking for your friends or family members if you want peace. Here, women speak louder because the ego, the symbol to the United States of America, is a ladybird. It's called a ballad. As I conclude, you didn't know why women reach here and they become something else. It's like a spirit. They find it at the airport, at their port of entry. And some of you call it liberty. It's called destroying family, if you didn't know. Because there is nowhere a woman is ahead of her home. Nowhere. Men, it's high time you go back into your positions. We are struggling in society because men left their positions and gave the power to women. Uganda got presidentship because the Queen of England saw that women are left behind. Because there were girls who carried the garments. That's a history you'll not find anywhere. They covered it because they were stealing power. Don't even look for us, leave us alone. The Lord told me to open that wing. He wanted to use it so that innocent people don't die anyhow. If I refuse, I was paying it with my life. Sisi sikumanyi. Welcome to the class. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers, but his mother named him Jabez, saying, because I gave birth to him in pain. Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would indeed bless me and enlarge my border, property, and that your hand would be with me, and you would keep me from evil, so that it does not hurt me. And God granted his request. But he was walking right with the Lord. You're going to pray a prayer, and you say that God does not answer. It is because you're walking in sin. The Bible has said that Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. But his mother named him Jabez, saying, because I gave birth to him in pain. You're called Jabez. Ask your mother why they named you Jabez. What makes you different in your family? Each family has children. I've gotten an opportunity to stay around many people and their children and their parents. And I've heard words they say about you. They're like, that one, careful.
I'm like, and me where they tell me careful is where I put my nose to see what is it that it makes this person stand out. Because I tend to carry many different characters, not characters, many different gifts and yeah, someone said, Esther, you keep changing. Today you're like this. It's how God created me. I can fit in anywhere at any time. So I can easily identify with anyone if I choose to do so. I love wearing other people's shoes to understand the situation before I conclude on you. If I was like some people can talk about each other. I know. So that I easily work well with you. There are people, they don't want you to touch their things. When it comes to their thing, they don't want you to touch it. When it is about their money, we go into budgeting. When it's about my money, I have to stand with you, right? Yes, that is how it is. When it's about your money, you start teaching us budgeting. Some of you have started up groups and you're telling us that it's for helping people. You're educating kids, but the money is not yours. The people you beg money from are the ones that are talking about you. When a word is released by one person, it circulates. You start up organizations that you're educating children out there, that is your heart. When there is no coin, your part was to go and identify the kids who have no school fees. But you've not put any coin there. But you're lying to the teams and people you work with, especially the circles that are outside. The inner circles, now you cut them off. You carry this habit of when the inner circle starts complaining about you, throw them out and you bring a new circle. When it does the same, for you, keeping friends is a problem. But you carry leadership and you teach us leadership. Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that you would indeed bless me and enlarge my border property, and that your hand would be with me, and you would keep me from evil, so that it does not hurt me." And God granted his request. God granted his request because Jabez was honorable before God. Many of us, God is not granting us our heart's desires because our private wing and public don't rhyme. We are going to stop there for today. But before we go, nze siritekumwitaba kubanga yeyanazo. You know, when we are those ends singing these songs of these scriptures, just say, "Enlarge my territory, I Jehovah, enlarge my territory, so that I may be a blessing." You just sing the song. You've not blessed anyone apart from using your mouth. God bless you. There are no accents whatsoever. Enlarge my territory, I Jehovah. The person was singing from here about Jabez's life. Cartoonist. I told you when the shoe fits you, please make sure you wear the right shoe. We are running. The season is very bad. I don't want you to slide and fall when it's not yet time to fall. That is how much I love you. Your friends don't love you, they just back a bite. Because they were so bad and above. Ebyomu mirembe ye chronicles that the generations it is after kings and kings. I know you're struggling to look for it. Enlarge my territory, oh Jehovah. When I read verses 9 in my local language, Yabezi naba nechitiwa okira baganda be. Nyina namutuma erinnya Yabezi ng'ayogera nti kubanga namuzaala lwa buyinike. Oluganda, the pain is of unique. Your mother, the things she goes through is how she names you. You need God to intervene. These women are giving names to their boys according to the situation. Let us read Genesis chapter 35. I'm going to read very fast. I'm just showing you these women and how they name their kids. Now your mother also gave you this name and it became a problem. How are you going to solve this problem? Genesis chapter 35 verses 1. Then God said to Jacob, go to Bethel and live there and make an altar there to God who appeared to you in a distant manifestation, when you fled years ago from Esau your brother. Then Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, go get rid of the idols and images of foreign gods that are among you and ceremonially purify yourselves and change into fresh clothes. If you are a leader, this is your work. You just tell them, you come. No. Tell them to get rid of all the idols. Talk about the sin they are committing. Whether they are the ones supporting the church or not, tell them if they stop supporting the church, they were not meant to be on your journey. Don't fear them. Sin is a sin. Some of you, these people have sinned so bad and destroyed one another. And because the Esther Solome is the one who buys you sugar, she's the one who buys, I hear, the church equipment, she's the one who buys, I hear, the internet. So no one tells Esther what to do. She's the one who talks too much because she's the one who travels abroad. She's not the first one to go to the United States of America or to go to the UK. I hear because she's the one with a degree. Sweetheart, I, Esther Solome, I left Uganda with a master's. It did not find me in the United States of America. My research was approved. But you can't see my name because I'm not the one who presented my paper. But I am the author. So they will not give you permission to download it. You'll only see my abstract. I'm educated.
That was 2012. I joined school in 2011. 2012. I was doing a master's in renewable energy in Nnakimera University. It is a recognized university around the world. When they call those who are educated, I follow suit. And I am one person who has practiced what I started. All the beautiful projects in Uganda that you keep posting and branding, I'm part of them. Yes. So when you're recognizing children there in the country who have added value, my father Bambi has no Facebook account. Neither does my mother. Yandi bakunze. Nzandi engineer wa mama. Nange nendabikira mawulire. Look, how people sit there and you assume that I didn't go to school. What are you talking about? I'm a government-sponsored student. My master's was sponsored by the Norwegians. Who told you that I didn't go to school? My friend, my grades are on American standard. In our Zunga, why are you working? Why are you working? Someone yesterday told me, you young girl, you're supposed to be aiming at the position of a district director. I said I don't want. The lady was like, you're too smart. I laughed. I just told her thank you. And I knelt down and continued with my work. I love peace. I'm here because I'm a watchman. Mwabajja okufana ensi. Mwe batuma sente mubonebone. Tatange bwalwala sibasaba sente nali nkusabye ddi ku sente. Mm-hmm. 12 years the wife is sick. 20 years going into 21. I am taking care of them. God blessed job is. Esther, you have to finish. Ebinyuma bijja kubigwa byocha. Mbala biyonga babatimbye mawulire. No bakutimba mawulire no wakoze eki. Ogenda no babuuza bamutimbye mawulire kiki yakoze. Anti mbwa agenda asomesa abantu entrepreneurship. I say, never batimbeko. Bambi teri akumanyi. Babatimbe. Mukwano babatimbe. Kubanga n'emirimu sigwo ogikola okozesa mumwa. Ebigere n'emikono bakyaliba ate bakukoowa. Mukwano abamu babatimbye no batimba ngandi mu foundation zammwe. Nete mwogera mazima.
Era we bakutimba baba bantimbi. Buli gwenkola naye we baba bakutimbako mu mawulire. Bw'obanga omanyi nga bakutimbako mu mawulire, mukwano bakutimba bantimba. Era nsigala kadi munene. Some of you cry. I look at you and you're crying. When they put someone you have supported and they put them in the newspapers, they have put you in the newspapers too. Otherwise, yes, yandivuddeyo mu ggulu ne tumuteeka ku bipande byaffe. Kubanga yakuwadde ssente. Sente za Mukama si zammwe. Naye twandimujje ne tumuteeka ku bipande. Katonda akukkiriza to work with people who are blessed. I don't work with you and you stay the same. Chetukola kiba tekiriyo. The people I work with, they're all up there. Every time they post them around, I walk with my head and I'm like this. Nigga. Since Mazal. Let us continue and finish this. I used not to laugh. When I cry, you all come and watch me. And you're like, Bambi, Bambi. When I'm laughing, they don't come. Biampaka. He told them to purify themselves and change into fresh clothes. Then let us get up and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress and has been with me wherever I have gone. So they gave Jacob all the idols and images of the foreign gods they had, and the rings which were in their ears, worn as charms against evil. And Jacob buried them under the oak tree near Shechem. We are still wearing these things. You're going to find your son, he has a very huge ring. They've made covenants with people abroad. They have big rings. Those rings, some of them have red crystals or blue. You think they're just rings. If you have a son or a daughter in the music industry, this is the day the Lord has made you start praying harder. And your son or daughter wears a big ring. And it's not his wedding band. Don't say I didn't tell you. Or they have a necklace and it has a pendant that has a crystal red or blue. They give them for charm, for protection. They give them so that they can raise them. They've made covenants. They move abroad and meet people. And they tell them, if you don't do this, you can't be big in the industry. You didn't know. Your Wakasani became a witch doctor. They tell them just wear the ring and you keep waving the hand. And people will just say, wow. I told you if you want to sit on the table, I sit. We use the knees. I want you to come and tell us you're a billionaire when everything is straight. If you do, if everything is straight with that money you keep running around with, trust me, I will tell you everything I own. If that money you're running around with is not family money, is not money you come here abroad and you beg for. Some of you, your parents slept with a devil. And they got land, they got money to take you to school abroad. If your mother didn't do it and you can come out and speak the truth, you can come and sit on the table where I sit.
You keep running around. Ndi wa munene. Nga sente mama we bamwebakako. Tata we bamwebakako. And you want to sit on the same table I sit. Parents, tell your children the truth. Some of your parents stole the land. Make sure the land your parents stole, it does not have part of my portion. Stubborn. I want to buy you. You do the same. Your daughter does the same. Your son does the same. Till when? That is why you come out to defend the rich people. With all the bad things they do. They call themselves rich. Muliba kujjo. When you listen to their background of their great-grandparents were poor. For you, how did you get that money? Let us put the cards on the table. How did you get the money? You sell your souls to the devil. Some of you have been feeding on the money given to you by the devil, and you don't eat the devil's money anyhow. You got to pay the price because some people sacrificed human beings. You want me to tell you who sacrificed a human being? God will expose them one by one. Makes a bundle. You left Uganda and you got money here. How did you get the money? And you call yourself a billionaire in America. How did you get that money? You sleep with old men who have already made money. You went and declared yourself gay. And you ran around saying you have money. They give them money so that the foundation can keep growing of LGBT. They sponsor them. And now they are big when a particular president agrees with everything. I thank God for the new Pope. He gave you his grounds. We have the liberty to tell you our grounds. You don't force yourself and your agendas into our throat. Even the Pope that died, his stand was clear, but bloggers keep cutting people's words short. I saw the original video when the Pope was speaking. You know, he was not, he used to speak Spanish, right? Is it Spanish? Whatever. He was interviewed about LGBT. He was so clear. He's a religious leader. He does not agree with the action because for him, he knows it's a man and a woman. But people have made their choices. They're going to come to church to be prayed for. But he told them his stand. Of course, there are people who compromise themselves. The current Pope Leo, he said he believes in the tradition church. He did not fear anyone because he's serving God. So whatever you believe in, let it rhyme in your house.
Don't force it down on anyone. If you want to survive in the same environment where we all sit, it is air, water, and earth. Because God is not happy with the earth, that is why we have very many problems right now. When God is annoyed, government comes out funny. The nature, it even affects the nature, the times and the seasons. That's why some of you are flooding. Some of you are going through fires, earthquakes, because of sin. You compromise yourself, you pay the price. Then let us get up and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress and has been with me wherever I have gone. So they gave Jacob and all the idols, yes, under the Shechem, the oak tree. As they journeyed, there was a great supernatural terror sent from God on the cities around them. And for that reason, the Canaanites did not pursue the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him. There he built an altar to worship the Lord and called the place El Bethel, God of the house of God, because their God had revealed himself to him when he escaped from his brother. Now Deborah, who once was Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried below Bethel under the oak, and the name of it was called Alon-Bakath, the oak of weeping. Then God in a visible manifestation appeared to Jacob again when he came out of Paddan Aram and declared a blessing on him. Again God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name." So he was called Israel, and God said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply." When God changes your name, some of you've changed your names because of whatever. I want God to give me a name. Yes, God gave me a name. I have my name there, courtesy of God. And I have a name courtesy of my mother. And I have 2 other names courtesy of the auntie to my dad. So I have how many people giving me names? 3. The auntie to my dad stepped on in the shoes of her brother who had already passed. Then my mom gave me a name, and God gave me a name. Hope it happens to you and your children. I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you. And kings shall be born of your lions. The land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, I will give to you, and to your descendants after you, I will give the land. I partake of it. Then God ascended from Jacob in the place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a pillar, memorial monument. That way you also have your monuments there. You thought you're the first one with monuments. In the place where he had talked with God, a pillar of stone. You need a person encounter. You need God to meet you and talk to you. The times we are in, don't wait to hear God from another man. Do whatever it takes so that you don't make mistakes in life, so that you don't make the wrong decisions to cost you and your family. Because God knows it all. He knows my tomorrow. My leader does not know my tomorrow. He's just assuming. They always carry assumptions. Which president knew that COVID was coming? They themselves were affected. When God sees the situation coming, he's going to warn you, to protect you, but do we listen? I sit these ends and I'm like, I used to cry, now I don't. Then God ascended from Jacob in the place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a pillar memorial, monument, in the place where he had talked with God, a pillar of stone, and he poured a drink offering of wine on it. He also poured oil on it to declare it sacred for God's purpose. He separated it. Do you have a place that you have identified and it's your personal place with God? Do you have an area in your house that you have dedicated it for God, that it is your meeting place with God? Before I go to church, I have to have a personal encounter, a personal relationship no one can destroy, however anointed they are. Because I know walking righteously is not simple. So Jacob named the place where God had spoken with him Bethel, the house of God. Then they journeyed from Bethel, and then there was still some distance to go to Ephrath in Bethlehem. Rachel began to give birth. After God visiting Jacob and changing his name, now Rachel, his favorite wife, the one he worked for 14 years, she's now pregnant also. Hold on, she had given birth to the first boy already. Now she's giving birth. When they were leaving the house, they gave birth to 7 children while they were in Laban's house. When it was time for Joseph to be given birth to, now they decide to leave. Joseph was the firstborn of Rachel. Now, after God changing the name of Jacob to Israel, Rachel conceives again. Continue. Rachel began to give birth and had difficulty and suffered severely. When she was in hard labor, the midwife said to her, "Don't be afraid, you now have another son." Now, Rachel is a manipulator. It was not today's class. Rachel is a manipulator. So when you're naming your daughters Rachel, you need to pray hard for them. They are good at manipulation. They are good at lying. And they are very beautiful. And they know it. Unfortunately, it still runs in the system of humanity. I am just a watchman. I told people to pray for their names. Since 2020, I started teaching people that have allowed to listen before they threw me out of their circles because they thought I was taking over their authority. I'm just a watchman. If I had been sitting on the WhatsApp group where you used to see me, your leaders requested that I should be thrown out. And if the group you're seated on, you no longer see me post there, your leader is not comfortable. Your leader is not comfortable with the way I teach. So I have no right to teach his or her people. And to me, you're God's people because I watch over Uganda. And your leaders closed the door and God left your WhatsApp groups and the cover was removed. So all the blood that has been shed since 2020, when I started to teach, it's on the heads of your leaders. Sorry. He told me don't move from the groups, let them remove you themselves. When they complain too much about you, put all the work on your social media handles. Every group I was removed of, you have made losses in a way that is something else. It is not me, I'm just a watchman, that is all. I'm doing what he told me to do, and that's it. Rachel manipulated Jacob. She would scare him. Rachel played a wrong card in the family because she knew that no one takes her position. She did not know that her man came from another world as much as their parents were siblings. Her man did not know the culture in the house, that a firstborn gets married first. She felt someone was taking her position. She felt like she was cheated. Rachel didn't know God. Their father was a witch. And when they were leaving, Rachel stole her father's gods. And when her father was pursuing them, he said, someone stole my gods. And Jacob sacrificed Rachel. He said, check us, and whoever took your gods, you can do whatever you want with her. He did not know that the favorite, he sacrificed his wife because she was a manipulator and a thief. That is why when God changed the name of a thief, you know Jacob was also a thief. A thief marries a thief. The anointing you attract is the one that works for you. You sit under men who are thieves. You become a thief. They steal mantles. Trust me, if your leader is a thief, you are a thief. Then the anointing goes through the beard. No apple falls far from the tree. Hey, I told you the thief. You thought we are leaving the thief like that. Some people told me, all the time the thief, you're giving the power to the thief when you are the thief yourself. You steal God's money in church. And you become a mansion owner. Which school did you go to? Which job do you have that gives you income for you to build a mansion when people don't have where to stay, to sit in church? People give you money. We collect money so that you can take it to the orphans and you use the money in your own things. And you don't even contribute. You don't put any of your coin. You want me to call you what? Lie to those who don't know your private wing. Lie to those you know you covered yourself with witchcraft. Sweetheart. God's eyes is seeing you. As I conclude, Rachel began to give birth and had difficulty and suffered severely. When she was in hard labor, the midwife said to her, "Do not be afraid. You now have another son." And as her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Benoin, son of my sorrow. But his father called him Benjamin. His father changed the name because God changed his father's name. He had all the right because the woman had died. So that the boy grows with all the sorrow everywhere when it was her fault. God can change your name. Ask your mother, why did you give me that name? Rachel stole the gods of her father, and the punishment she got, her own husband surrendered her. When he was being accused of stealing Laban's gods, it was Rachel. Katine bwentema. Men take over the power. Your women are thieves. You're struggling in the family because of your wife. Some of you haven't yet struggled yet. It is coming. Every man is going to be tested to see whether Kurugari. He's shaken together, running over. God is going to test every man and woman under the sun. And if you're found not worthy, we have a winnowing fork. We separate the chaff and the wheat. You made a covenant with your wife, till death do us part, but I don't think you'll meet in heaven because of the lifestyle you're living. She named him Benoin, son of my sorrow, but his father called him Benjamin, son of the right hand. Two fathers. I told you I'm an advocate to fathers. I'm very sorry. I love mothers, but until fathers take their position back, enjoy seeing me here all the time. Jacob set a pillar, Benjamin, son of the right hand. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set a pillar, that is memorial, monument, on her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel, Jacob journeyed on and pitched his tent on the other side of the tower of the Eder, in brackets the lookout point used by shepherds. You call yourself a shepherd. Make sure your life is not compromising your position. And if you are a leader of any sort, starting at home, you are a mother, we're going to celebrate mothers. Hope your mother is walking right with the Lord, because every mistake she makes, you're going to pay the consequences. Make sure your father does not compromise himself because of his wife. I am where I am because my father paid the price. Someone got a dream back. It was 2012. I was still doing my master's. And he saw me in a brand new V8 Pajero. It was, he said, a brand new. It was a big car, but it looked like in the form of a Pajero. And he said, Lord,
He's one of the pastors, Ewamsumbato. He asked the Lord what it meant. And the Lord told him, whatever I'm doing for that girl, whatever I've done for that girl, whatever I'm going to do for that girl, it's because of her father. He has served me in and out of season. Mundabira tatawo. Just saying. Nti ndabira tatawo. Tatawo yafa. Mama wo yaliwo ndabira mama wo. Your mother said, I'll do whatever it takes for me to live, to get out of this poverty. Tell her not to steal. Tell her not to steal. Tell her not to destroy people's lives. Tell her not to compromise herself. Tell her not to sit in groups that destroy people's reputation. Because you're going to pay the price. If you don't pay, her grandchildren are going to pay. If the grandchildren don't pay, the great-grandchildren. Not to me, it is just the word of God, disclaimer. I'm just a messenger. And after the work, I turn off my phone and I go enjoy myself. That's it. Because now it is time to go and after here, now outside, whatever was going to attack me, God has already covered me. So be careful when you're opening your mouth about anyone. However much you're annoyed, I'm telling you. And singers, stop assuming that when you are a gospel singer, you're declared a pastor. Please stop it. Because the things that attack pastors when they come for you. When the devil is attacking and is attacking pastors, if you dare wear that garment and God never called you into service as a pastor, we shall see you. Me, I always sit these ends and I see you and I'm like, that stick was for pastors. You said you're a pastor. There are things that are faced by pastors, but you call yourself a gospel artist and then you turn yourself into a pastor when God has not called you there. Make sure you work with the right camp. The season is bad. Some of you, God isolated you for his purpose, but you love mixing and mingling. I'll tell you what it means when God has separated you and you love mixing yourself. They are going to disrespect you. They are going to slander you. They are going to say things you did not say until when you learn to stay in your lane. The so-called anointed. You joke with life. And they go around telling everyone to stop talking to you. And they are called the pastors, apostles, bishops, prophets. God is going to call you. And you want to fix yourself. Ask me, I have experience. They will show you fire. They don't care how you feel. They'll tell you don't be emotional here when they've destroyed your reputation. And they will not apologize for it. Don't even ever wait for that apology. I'm just being honest with you so that you don't fall a victim. So that I have paid the price. You don't need to pay that price. It's a very painful route. It can kill you. Nobalengere yonga beekaliza ku bituuti. Nobalengere eyo n'agamba abantu ntino tebaddamu kwogera naawe mu kigurupu kyabwe. Bakinvinvi. Bana bato twabamanyira n'agayisa gaabwe. Nobabuuza kati muzeeyi nze nzonzaala buzaazi. Kati obisanye nange gwonzaala gwe wasomesaako bisanye nange. Nga taata wange yakuyamba okutambulira mu butuukirivu obisanye nange. Nga obutuukirivu bwali bukulemye. I just stay away. Baba malo kwonoona mutima gwo nga bagamba touch not the anointed. Ate bagende saawa yonna batulekera abaana baabwe. Nga abaana baabwe nabo bayina egy'emitima. Abaana bo nja kuba kibooko muzeeyi kino nakikusuubiza. Kubanga abaana bo mbasinga obukulu. Mbasinga obukulu mu myaka ate ne mbasinga n'obukulu mu kuweereza. Abaana bo tebatambulira na mbutuukirivu. Kana kazibu nnyo iye. Nendowooza ku ebyo. Kati buli musajja mukulu na buli mukyala mukulu bw'oba tetambulanga Enoka bwe yatambula. Ekisa kitumale. Bw'obanga okutambulira mu butuukirivu oyogerako kwogere. I was of a view stay at your pulpit is your sheep that is blind. And leave us alone. Just saying. Attack. Stop, my friend. And we disconnect you from here. Nedda mbagambako bugambye ekkanisa eyonooneserwa bintu ng'ebyo. Oba onyiga ng'onyiga si yenze mbazaala nange ndi ku mulimu siina gakuwa nako wasibooko. Nga tonnampeereza muwala wo na mutabani wo okunsomesa, make sure they walk right with the Lord and they have no private wing that is dirty. Just saying. That is called leadership. I was told to I had to very Esther Solome. As I live, I love worshiping, I love praising, I love dancing. Siyinza kuvira mwawo. Yes, I was called into leadership, like your sons and daughters. But it's God that called me. You called your children. Jesus, yeah, in your special way, what was impossible, Baba, you make possible. Jesus, yeah. Hello to everyone that raised me. Everyone who saw me when I'm crawling in my nappies, in church, in family. See, you have done it again, Jesus, yeah. In your special way, what was impossible, Baba, you make possible, Jesus, yeah. Jesus, yeah. You have done it again, Jesus, yeah. In your special way, what was impossible, Baba, you fly the Uganda crane higher. I almost gave up, Sibo. I swear, my father told me to do a PhD in 2012. This is me doing my PhD, and I've delayed myself. Baba, you make possible, Jesus, yeah. Jesus, yeah. Have you graduated your PhD? My PhD is God who teaches. What was impossible, you make possible, Jesus, yeah. Jesus, yeah. You have done it again, Jesus, yeah. In your special way, what was impossible, you make possible, Jesus, yeah. I almost let go. Everyone stay in your lane and do your assignment, because you're going to give accountability for it. I happen to sit in the line of leaders, in the line of seers, in the line of the Air Force. That one, I'm in the 3rd generation of seers. Line of leaders, I'm in the 4th generation. What was impossible, you made possible, Jesus, here. And we are recognized in Uganda and in the UK. Jesus, yeah. You have done it again, Jesus, yeah. And I'm staying in my lane. You make possible, Jesus, yeah. But those who are called by God, I'm number one. Courtesy of 1984. Me, I work for God, not man. Mwana kayimba kawafu. I love you all. May the Lord's face shine upon you. May you walk like Jabez. May you walk like Enoch. So that the Lord can enlarge your territories. Jacob walked a double lifestyle, and he got a lot of problems. So if you want to have many problems and challenges in life, you can walk the journey Jacob walked. Hope you can handle. Mkama teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana, gwe katondo wa maje, teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana. From the rising of the sun to the moment when it sets, let all creation praise and let the holy name, maker of the heavens, king of all the earth, we bow before your throne and worship you again. You are God. There is none like you. There is none like you. There is none like you. 'Cause you are God alone. There is none like you. There is none like you. There is none like you. You are God. There is none like you. There is none like you. There is none like you. Kunawa maje teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana. Katondo wa maje teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana, teria kwenkana. Thank you so much, Chimera and Lovega Brian. Thank you as we wind up and leave. Pastor Isaac Serukenya, come over. Did you go to the baby expo? It was only 10K to enter. And on Sunday, we'll be with Pastor Isaac Serukenya, those of us who love singing. Did you know that also the worship summit started? It's now in Gulu, Kobok, with Hamke. Siku sabanze chirala, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, siku sabanze chirala, ziju zomoyo, omoyo wa katana yeviena, jendi. Come on, ziko saba, zechirala, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, siko saba, zechirala, ziju zomoyo, omoyo wa katuna yeviena jendi. Come on. Zechirala, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, siku sabanze chirala, ziju zomoyo, omoyo wa katana yeviena. Siku sabanze chirala, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, ziju zomoyo, siku sabanze chirala, ziju zomoyo, omoyo wa katana yeviena. Zempangula, zempangula, buli wempangula, no moyo wa katanda. Yampangula, ompangula, buli re, no moyo wa katanda. Zensumululwa, zensumululwa, bulire, no moyo wa katanda. Tumulura, sumulura, bulire, no moyo wa Katonda. Siku sabanze chidala, zijuzo moyo, zijuzo moyo, zijuzo moyo. Siku sabanze chidala, zijuzo moyo, moyo wa Katonda. Yebyana. Zechirala, zijuzo moyo, zijuzo moyo, zijuzo moyo, siku sabanze, zijuzo moyo. Pangura, hallelujah. I love you all. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord bless your children. May the Lord bless you, Rita Keflower. May the Lord bless you, Emmanuel Mugambe. May the Lord bless you, Nathan Gift. May the Lord bless you, Tyrone Rogers. They have represented the male and the female out there. May the Lord protect you when others are crying. May not cry. May the Lord bless you. May you be the pivot in your family. May you be the one God is choosing today to change and command the environment. May you be blessed. May the blessed call you blessed. May you be a source of great good to others, for you to be distinguished wherever you go. May the God of Isaac, Jacob, and the God of Abraham go before you. May he become your God. May it be a personal encounter. May your children lack nothing. May the Lord open doors man had closed in your lives. May you get the desires of your heart when you delight in the Lord. May you seek God's goodness in the land of the living. May you be protected in all corners. I've used you as a point of contact for others who see it out there that I don't see. I mention your names because they're important to God. He calls us by our names. He gave us names. So he knows you and he knows your tomorrow. And this is the day that he has made, that we allow him to take charge and take over. I sign out. It's always an honor to see someone on the front line. I call them the VVIP. May the Lord heal those who are sick. And may the Lord fill the gap of your loved ones that they've left. And may the Lord heal your hearts. Those who are broken-hearted because of people, may the Lord heal you. May the Lord heal you. He's the only one who can take away that pain. Man does not apologize. But man wants to be supported. Don't ever forget that. I want you to work for God. Whatever you do, work for God. Because when you do something for a human being created by God, God pays you. Your mansion is always big. And when man hurts your feelings, always know that a battery needs two charges, a positive and a negative. So just know, whoever has hurt your feelings, they carried the devil. Don't carry the devil. You carry God. Don't pay them back the bad way. Do good in their lives. And when you fault, make sure you take full responsibility of your actions. And you will be a winner. Today I'm alive. I am happy. My heart is no longer heavy. Because I accepted to do God's work. He told me to give him time, and he will take away the pain man has caused me my whole life. I sign out.